Good morning, good evening, and everything in between. How are we all today? Hello, everybody. Ah, my settings are broken. There we go. Fix that. Ew. Hi, how is everybody? I forgot to fix that setting. I was using things for different things yesterday, and I forgot to change it back. Let's fucking go. Hello, everyone. The more subtle and quieter Mario earlier. Yeah, we're shutting her up. She's not allowed to speak. Banned. I'm camping. Oh my god. Hi, I missed you too. I'm here. I'm alive. Hello. I'm here. Man, I'm so sorry for the slight delay. I need you to know that 9 minutes before stream, my housemate was like, hey, I finished cooking, insert one of my favorite foods that they cook. And I was like, oh, I am fucking that shit up right now, let's go. So I had a quick munch of dinner. So I feel like you guys should really be proud of me because I ate dinner before stream. I fucking downed that shit, man. I speed ran that like so fast. But yeah, so proud of you for taking care of yourself. Yeah, it was definitely good. Fuck it. Like, did you drink water? Did you? Whoa, I'm not challenging that one actually. Nope, not challenging that one. We're not having it. We're not fucking around and fucking. Yeah, there we go. All right. Amen. There we go. Oh, and a stretch? I can do that. That was a good stretch, actually. Oh, and very importantly, Cinda. Oh, hi. Oh my god, instant airplane ears. 1 second. I see. Blossom says I love you. Okay, she undid her airplane ears, so she's only mad at me. Everyone else is in the good books. I'm just the one that's in the bad books because I didn't give her part of my dinner. And I mean, like, she can't eat it, so, like, that's on her, really. And I think I fixed all the settings on the other screen, otherwise we might be a bit silly on the next screen because I was fucking around with things yesterday. But, man, I'm gonna be so vague, but a major project that I have been working on that you guys know nothing about is 90% finished. We are so close to being done. And I'm a little nervous. And by a little nervous, I'm very nervous. I am so nervous. The chef is about to serve. I was looking it over today and I was like, holy shit. Is nearly finished. I was like, oh my god. Just so you know, this project, I started working on it in June? I want to say end of May or June. Yeah, around then. That's when I started working on it. It's 90% done now. That's like insane, really. Quick, think of something that uses it. Oh, true. Yeah, actually. Oh, no. Okay. Let's jump across. Everything looks normal. You won't hear any sound because I turned the BGM off. Because I had this open, like, 15 minutes before, and, like, there's only so much of the, like, BGM that I can listen to on top of everything else before I'm like, alright, one of us needs to change. And that one lost out today. But yeah, 90%, y'all. We're going insane. We're going so insane, but it's gonna be great. I'm very excited, and hopefully that means it'll be done this week so that you guys can see it next week. So keep an eye out on the schedule, I guess, because if it does release, not for, like, knock on wood, if it all goes well, it will release next week on Wednesday, which is insane to think about because yeah, it's that close. Because it's the 18th and I can't miss that opportunity. Otherwise, the next time I could post it is like the 8th, which like the next time there would be an 8th on a Wednesday is May next year. I checked because I was looking at times where this happens and I was like, well, if I can't do this one and then it's like, oh, well, November's gonna be like a whole month away and I've been starting this thing since like end of May, June, like surely there must be another one soon, like so I can justify like, oh, it's not gonna be the like I'm missing out. And then I went and I checked every month and I was like, May is the next one. And I was like, oh, this is insane. It can't be the cover since we know about it. Which cover? Which cover are you talking about? That's crazy. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very terrified. A few people have seen what I've been working on, and I've had huge, like, yeses. So, like, it should be, it's, you know, it's just, you know, it seems to be like that, you know what I mean? So hopefully it's gonna be absolutely mint. Also, do you wanna know something crazy? You know how we've been doing these episode by episode? I've been like buying them before stream each week so that I can keep track of it. But look at this. I have this one and I have this one. Isn't that crazy? I got given goods. Like, we're winning. I actually... Oh yeah, you did get more perms. When did I get more perms? What? When were... Where did the perms come from? But yeah, I actually won from, their giveaways all of the episodes to this game and keys, and I was like, fucking mint. I had a right fucking giggle about it because I was like, oh my god, wait, I didn't think this would actually happen. Mari just keeps winning. I have only been winning because a friend bought Please Be Happy for me. They literally was like, I want you to play this game. I'm buying it, so you have to play it. And I was like, okay. And then they bought the first of this one and a couple of other Studio Elon ones. So, like, we have only been winning. It's insane. I'm, like, thriving. But yeah. This looks like it's gonna break my heart today. I'm so excited. I swear you said you got more perms from Elon. No, I haven't asked them about that. Your friend has good taste. They do. Because, like, I was so, like, oh, I've never really played a visual novel before. Like, I'm worried that I won't like the genre and, you know, I don't want to spend the money on something that I've never done before because, like, if I don't like it, then I'm going to feel bad. And then they were like, here it is. Play it on stream. I want to watch your reaction. I was like, all right. And now look at where we are. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just so silly? Imagine thinking that you're not gonna like visual novels. That's insane. And then, like, thinking about it, they've really just set me up for a heartbreak because, oh, end of this month. End of this month. I'm so excited. I'm seeing all the promo stuff at the moment. Oh my god. I love Domino Effects real. Like, they really changed my life with that one. Now I have a hyperfixation on a fictional woman that isn't a Cluck Jajinka, so, like, truly iconic. Okay. Let's get to it. Let's see if I can remember how to read.
Ranger Adams? I thought that the team
I'm gonna turn that up.
was supposed to be like tents. So why is this one made of wood, huh, Ranger Adams?
Oh, hi, Sin. The porky little kid raises his hand and tries to jump, spouting off another series of gotcha questions for the infiniteth time today. Pretty sure they're all designed to either make me look bad or make him look better. Either way, I've developed a personal grudge against this 9-year-old. Oh yeah, Twofold. I'm so excited for Twofold.
Well, you see, Reuben, you little bundle of stardust, you. This is a bark house. And if you listened to the other times I told you, I'm sure you would have known that.
My tightened cheeks wobble as I struggle to keep faking the smile. Don't think it's convincing though. The thumbtack-looking teacher is sipping at his travel mug more often and with growing urgency. Hi, Riceman! How are you today?
Yeah, but Ranger Adams, it looks like a teepee. I'm just saying.
Oh, that kid.
It's not a teepee.
There it is. The teacher leans away from his mug to interrupt, but I don't give him the chance.
A teepee is made from animal skin. Does this look like animal skin to you? No, it doesn't. It's made of bark, which you can see because you have eyes. Hence the name. You ask such great questions, Reuben. Now someone else give me another one.
Oh my god. Oh no. Barely managed to hold that one together, but all things considered, not too bad. I'm at least not screaming at children yet. I scan the faces of about 20 or so antsy 4th graders. Parents, chaperones scold the most distracted of them with stiff hand motions. Some kids look up at me expecting, waiting. Others have their fingers up their nose. None of them are raising their hands. She sounds like me without coffee. She is you without coffee. Kaida, she is you without coffee. She is also caffeine dependent. Except for Reuben.
Anyone. Anyone at all.
Only birds respond. Ranger Adams, they chirp. Tell us about the old villages that were razed to the ground before this replica was built. Please, Ranger Adams, tweet, tweet. Reuben is jumping off the ground now. His shirt rolls up as he thrusts his hand into the air, and his belly spills over his cargo shorts. I count to 4, like my Jessie-mandated counselor told me to do, then release a deep, deep sigh.
Go ahead, Reuben.
Where's the chief? Teacher said he would show us the sweat lodge.
Councilman Trampton got caught up with tribal affairs.
Are we still doing the sweat lodge?
Doesn't look like it.
Oh.
Tours aren't really my jurisdiction, but sometimes when the stars decide they want to unalign and throw everything out of orbit, they get handed over to me. I like doing them more than I used to, but usually they're hikes or nature trails. But when it comes to the history and culture of the tribes around here, I just feel dirty, out of my depth. It's like killing someone in their own home, then buying it up, only to turn the place into a haunted maze. Usually, someone from the American Indian Council of Mariposa County would be out here, but today, these kids get me, with my red hair, freckles, and middle-class upbringing.
Do Indians still live here?
Reuben speaks up again, this time without raising his hands. He points around at the ramshackle buildings and cabins compiled of local flora and bark. They're sturdy, but need to be rebuilt from time to time. To be honest, it's really not all that bad of a question. Just don't like the mouth hole it's coming out of.
This village is just a replica. No Miwok or Awanichi people have lived in the park since the 60s. Even then, most were forced out by the Mariposa Battalion during the gold rush.
A couple parents cough into their fists. The teacher tugs at his collar.
Ranger Adams?
A fragile girl with pigtails steps up from behind Reuben. Her voice is quiet and meek. If her hair were a few shades lighter, she'd look a lot like Zion.
What is it, sweetie?
What do you mean by forced out?
Uh-oh. The teacher is pleading at me with his eyes. Meanwhile, the parents are stabbing me with theirs. Now all the kids, even the ones with low attention spans, are looking to me, their innocent states underscoring the thick silence. I sniff back the spring allergies.
You kids know what a genocide is?
Okay!
The teacher panic laughs and rushes to my side. He punctuates the tour with a clap of his hands.
How about we all go check out the museum?
I love Eve so much. She is being real.
Come on! You can't be eating people's trash!
I just can't get over the PNG of him. Gripping the scruff of his neck, I drag Pup onto the cabin porch, his paws scratching and sliding on the wooden planks. He's growing so fast I don't even believe it until I try to carry him for myself. There's an old saying that if you pick a calf up every day from the time it's born to the time it's an adult, you'll be able to hoist it up when it's fully grown. Clearly, I missed a few days with Pup. Is that true? That would be insane if you could. Cause like, that's wild. Cause I pick up Mr. Moot every day as he was growing up, and let me tell you, picking up Mr. Moot is a fucking nightmare. And are you good? I don't know what she's doing. And like, he is significantly smaller, so like, that's insane. Cinder in the background just jumped into a random box and now she's just shredding the cardboard. Cena, what are you doing? I think she's stuck. Give me a second. I think she's stuck. Give me a second. Sorry. So she was stuck, and she was also stubborn about it, and didn't want my help. So I just put the box on its side. Hopefully, you won't hear more rustling. I am so sorry about that. He rolls his head to my arm and nips at my wrist.
Ow! Why, you little...
Hey, Sam. See? Nikki says they love you. Yeah, right. She just kind of looked around the room at that one. Like, she just looked at me as I was speaking, and then she just looked around. And I was like, alright. It's alright. Girl. Yeah, okay. The sharp pain dulls as I check my wrist. No major damage, just a scrape etched down my arm. Pup gallops across the field, then spins in circles like he has a chance of finding the end of infinity.
I am not having this lack of cooperation.
I think I need to do camping stuff. Good luck with your camping stuff! Have a good camping trip! Stay safe, make good choices! Can't wait your reaction to someone. Oh no. He sniffs at a dead bird, so decomposed that its remaining mass has flattened into the ground. Then he rolls around in it. It's not like he ever listened to me to begin with, but lately it's felt like he's untamable. He won't dare nip at Zion, but me, Yosemite, and even Yellowstone have gotten snapped at by him recently. He's a sweet boy, but it's almost becoming an issue. I'll just have to spend more time training him, I guess. Maybe the weekends. Since I've started going on regular hikes with Yellowstone and Zion, they've begun feeling a little more open. Can't explain it. It's like a psychological light switch. But I guess I'm not unhappy to have it flipped on. Oh no. The sudden crack of shattering glass yelps from inside the cabin. My furrowed brow blocks half of my vision. In less than a second, I'm inside.
Somebody better have a replacement.
At least 100 shards of ceramic and glass are scattered at the base of her feet. The tray she was carrying is upside down, and several feet away, water sliding behind it. We go through teapots like some families go through sourdough. Yellowstone doesn't react, not even as much as a head turn. She stares up at the corner, eyes stretched wide, mouth open. Leaning forward in her chair, Zion's jaw is slouched on the table. She's looking at me, but she's staring right through me. Maybe through the wall behind me.
Can someone say something?
A bolt of energy sizzles from the tip of my head to deep into my calves, deadbolting me to the floor. My entire body is held down by the weight, not because I can't move, but because I know I shouldn't. Yosemite is sitting in Lotus over on my bed. Don't know when I gave her permission to do that, but there she is. Her back is turned to me. She faces the window. On the nightstand, a lit candle sways with the breeze that spirals through the cabin. The sweet scent of burning pine is brushed over to me. I can't read! The candle flickers out.
Girls!
The tension in my body lifts, and I'm finally allowed to exhale. There's a moment of clarity. Empty stillness. For all the questions I have right now feel like they have obvious answers, but as I inhale, the fog comes rolling back in, and I'm as confused as ever.
Yellowstone. I saw it too. What in the Sam Hill was that?
I don't know.
Did you see the girl? Yeah, she was kinda hot.
Mayor. Alright, Yellowstone, go off.
Not what I meant, but I get what you mean.
Hello? Child? Zion scrunches up her tiny face. Yellowstone looks at her, and she looks at Yellowstone. They both twist their heads and look at me. I've had lots of eyes on me today, but the primal part of my lizard brain is scared enough for me to take a few steps back.
Miss Eve? Did you see that vision too? Like, in your noggin?
Vision? No, nothing like that.
The smoke from the incense is thick. It feels tangible, like I could hop on it and ride it into the aether.
But as soon as I walked in here, I could feel something.
Feel something? Like what?
Tension, fear. I don't know. It just felt oppressive, I guess.
Spooky.
Zion gasps and jumps out of her seat, hovering there for a moment before floating back down.
Yosemite! What about you?
Yosemite doesn't speak. Yosemite doesn't turn around. Yosemite doesn't do anything. Why is she crying? She just sits there, back turned, legs still crossed, unflinching, braving whatever little world she's in all by herself.
Yo! Slow-simity! You catching some Z's over there or what? Slow-simity.
Zion's eyes widen and her mouth stretches into a giant O.
Oh, I get it! That's very clever, Yellowstone.
Oh, sweetie! She claps her hands together to congratulate her friend, but Yellowstone is too busy chewing on her nails to bask in it. Whatever they saw must have shaken her. Hard to blame her though. Whatever it was I felt has me shook too. It wasn't just a passing feeling, like lightheadedness or vertigo. It was something real enough that it could bury itself deep under my skin.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you shut up for this long. What's the deal?
Marching over to my little nook of the cabin, I step between Yosemite and the wall. I stare down at her. For the first time since getting to know each other, I feel like the tall one. Hi! We are winning!
Eve?
Or not, maybe not. Trembling, Yosemite stares up at me, spots of tears dabbing at the corner of her eyes. 6 feet of ego and superiority contorted into a vulnerable ball. Oh, stretch! Oh, that was a good one. Oh, and a drink. I'm not gonna lie to you, Rex. I have no idea what's going on. Before I can even process what she's feeling or how that makes me feel, she pounces off the bed and wraps her long tree branch arms around me. Oh!
Whoa. Okay. Forgot you were a hugger, but sure.
Okay. Her weight almost drags us both down onto the bed. But my calves are strong enough to keep us anchored to the floor. She tightly clings to my uniform, stretching the fabric as she does the bare minimum to keep herself held up. Bye, Kaida! Have a good rest of your day! There is not any sobbing, but the tears are there and I can feel them bleeding through my shirt. The quiet part of me says to push her away and tell her to suck it up, but the louder part of me cuts through all the nastiness and tells me Yosemite is worthy of pity. My hand, awkwardly hovering over the back of her head, goes limp. I stroke her hair until I reach her back, then I just ride out the embrace.
What's wrong with Yosemite? Does she know what that was? Cause I don't know Jack Diddley. Tell me what the Jack is, Yosemite. Tell me about the Diddley.
Tell me about Diddley. The two of them rush over, not giving a single second of extra thought to the idea of crowding a crying girl.
Oh, no you don't.
Dragging Yosemite's mask with me, I step over to the curtain and slide it closed, cutting off Zion and Yellowstone Stampede.
Peel back this veil, Missy. I need answers. Yes. This is extremely unfair, Miss Eve.
This really is the two parents and their fucking kids. Yellowstone, seemingly unaware that she has the power to peel back the veil, presses herself against the curtain, the outline of her body coming at us through the fabric like bad 3D effects.
Tough. The adults need to talk.
Yeah, no, real parents. Careful to dodge Yosemite, I kick Yellowstone back using the center of my foot. She stumbles back, and although I can't see it, I hear the crash landing.
We are much older than you, I'll have you know.
Yeah, Zion, get him.
Whatever you say, Squirt. Come back to me once you sprout up a few more inches.
Oh my god.
Please, you two.
Yosemite manages to choke back her tears long enough to plead with them between sniffles.
Just a few minutes, okay?
The other side of the curtain goes quiet. Enough time for Yosemite to take another dance with hysterics as she tries, and fails, to compose herself. Zion floats to the top of the curtain rail to peer down at us. She blows me a ripe, juicy raspberry, then drops back down with a defiant humph. With those two out of the way, I tug Yosemite back towards the bed and have to shove her onto it to get her to stop clinging to me.
All right, let's take a few seconds to breathe.
Yosemite nods her head up and down, covering her mouth with her hand, like that'll actually keep me from seeing her tears. Or shame. Whichever makes her the most embarrassed, and I'm positive that one, or the other, or both does. Oh. I climb into bed and do the crisscross applesauce thing, which in these khakis and in this uniform is no easy task. The comforter is soft and warm, retaining Yosemite's body heat. We both sink into the bed, the frame struggling beneath our collective weight.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah, I'm feeling that, Neki. Oh my god, God fucking bless. She nods and takes a steadying breath.
Well, It's hard to put into words. Nearly unexplainable.
Just pretend you're smart and have to dumb everything down for me. Should be easy for you.
It's only easy because you are so mediocre.
Okay, come on, girls. With a half smile, she thumbs away the last few tears. I take off my hat and plant it on her head, twisting it on hard and tight so it smothers her smug face.
Spill it.
It was like... I experienced things.
Welcome to consciousness.
She tilts back the hat. Her eyes pop out from beneath it like a groundhog ready for spring.
I'm serious. Not just sights, but sounds and smells too. I could recount how I was feeling when I laughed at a joke. Complicated instances where things felt bitter and sweet, but still full. Even extremely specific energy. The richness of a moment where you really pay attention to it. Imprints.
So what, like a vision? That's gotten tossed out there already.
I suppose. Although I feel like that implies more disconnect from it. They felt more like...
Chuckling, she rolls her eyes. There's a crack in her voice, and I realize she's doing it to keep herself from crying again.
Well, I suppose they felt more like memories, Eve.
Memories?
Thank you for always repeating everything I say. It's very reaffirming.
If my defense mechanism is the black comfort of nihilism, then hers is the icy delight of sarcasm. But I think I have an idea of what it's defending her from, and that knowledge makes it harder to blame her.
Are they yours? Pretty sure all three of you saw the same thing. I could feel it as soon as I walked in.
Positive. Every living thing in this park flows through me. I feel it. My perception of being is specific to me. Unique. Did you just say you felt it?
It was just a hunch or something. You were all spaced out. Frankly, I'm jealous of your ability to disassociate.
Why am I getting so defensive? I felt what I felt. In a way, I experienced it as strongly as how Yosemite said she experienced her little episode. It would be so much easier to confront it if I could just pass it off as a fever or food poisoning.
You must be spending too much time around us.
Reach into the choir.
We both snort, letting the silence take over as we smile at each other. Since our entire friendship is a game of chicken, we hold out to see who breaks first. It's Yosemite. Her eyes dodge mine and droop down at the bedsheets. I do the same.
So, are you gonna tell me what you saw?
No avoiding it, huh?
For most people, you absolutely can avoid things. It's easy. But for her, I don't think it is. She always goes for the most difficult option. It's just her ego and inability to admit when she's being an idiot that makes it harder than it has to be.
It wasn't just one moment that I experienced. There were multiple moments, and it felt like I was being sucked through all of them. Through time. Languages I could understand at the time, but that seemed completely dead to me now. People I knew and was happy to see, even though I can't pin down who they are.
Her forehead creases with wrinkles, and the flow of information slows to a contemplative trickle.
One of them was a girl.
I knew it! I knew we saw the same gal!
Yellowstone! Yellowstone's voice booms out like a disruptive firework.
Eavesdropping is supposed to be quiet. You need to be considerate when we're being rude.
Oh my god, these kids. These kids!
All this stuff is giving me the willies. If I don't get them deets, I'm gonna flip!
Keep up the screeching and I will actually give you something to be afraid of.
And I won't stop her.
There's immediate silence. Then Zion whispers.
Don't listen to her. We can take her on if we have to.
Yes! Violent small child! Instead of storming through the curtain, I roll my eyes. Your time will come, girls. Your time will come.
Continue.
It's the same as before, really. I couldn't tell you who she was, but I knew her. She was carrying this woven basket. It looked heavy, so I wanted to help. And when she turned around, it was like comfort, relief, and happiness and belonging. Sounding crazy enough for you yet?
Nothing does at this point.
If any barrier she had erected between the two of us was still standing, I'm pretty sure it just got knocked down. She pulls her feet out from the pretzel they're in and rolls her knees close to her chest.
The strangest thing about it was that there was one thing that connected all the scenarios.
Besides yourself?
No, because the through line was that it all took place here in the park. I was present in more ways than one.
As much as I want to be here for Yosemite right now, this is starting to make my head hurt.
And you're sure about that?
As sure as I am about everything else so far.
Groaning, she buries her face in her knees, the rest of her head buried under my hat.
If only I could visit. I feel like everything would start to make sense.
Then go visit. It's not like you can't go wherever you want in this park.
It doesn't work like that, you...
She nearly stumbles into a casual insult, but catches herself.
Precious, precious thing.
Not even a good save.
I can only go to places that I know of. Obviously, that's most places here, but occasionally there are areas even I'm not familiar with.
I fake a gasp.
Are you saying the great and wise Yosemite doesn't know everything?
It's a fact that actively irritates me, so don't rub it in. But yes, I'm afraid I don't even know where to start. Which means even after seeing all this, I'm still no better off than I usually am.
The throes of despair are as long as they are sharp, and its talons are clutched around Yosemite. It was hard to see when we first met, but it's clear to me now. There's so much she wants to know, but so much is keeping her from it. Mostly knowledge, or the lack of it. No wonder she reads so much.
There's nothing about it in any of those books of yours?
Her head slinks back and forth.
I've read everything I own multiple times. If there were anything helpful, I'd remember.
Are you not gonna say I heard? Okay. She's kind of pathetic. Not even kind of. She just is. A far cry from the fearsome spirit that challenged me when I was first stationed here. Though I think that version of her never really existed to begin with. I compare her to a tree a lot, but I think it works. At first, she seemed tall and mighty, her presence shading the cabin at all time. But with a few slow and powerful swings of an axe, she's been chopped down to my size. But when you're way down where I'm at, there's nothing about you that feels powerful. No matter how much wisdom or strength you claim you have, that's how things are when you're this low. And that's why I'm going to help her.
I guess I have no choice then.
I slide off the bed and stretch.
No choice but to do what?
But to take you to the research library.
It's not a big deal to me, so I let the info slip out casually. But to her? Well, let's just say this will be my second good deed for the year.
Research library?
I glance over my shoulder.
Who's repeating whom now?
She crawls across the bed and grabs my suit.
Are you saying such a place exists? You aren't lying just to make me cry, are you?
You have some serious trust issues, man.
Are you?
Her eyes start to water again, proving my previous theory about the chopped tree. Though at this point she's looking more like a garden plant.
It's real and it's a perk of the job. Open to researchers and staff. Guess which one I am?
Suddenly, her eyes are dry. Suddenly, she's on her feet, and suddenly, she's shaking me back and forth.
Why didn't you tell me about this before?
I anchor myself to the ground to minimize the damage from the oncoming whiplash.
Because you keep stealing my credit card to buy used books online. Why would I reward that behavior?
If I knew this existed, I wouldn't have had to indulge in your capitalist system to begin with.
You're welcome.
The shaking stops. Her expression goes blank. Hopefully from contemplating the selfishness that boils in her at all times. She course corrects and puts on a grin, then swings her arms around me and pulls me in for a hug.
Thank you.
Visual looks so funky. They do some funny things in this, I'm not gonna lie. They do some really funny things. Her hug squeezes the air out of me, and I'm already realizing I'm so tired.
When are we going?
Let go of me. We can leave as soon as I change out of my uniform. There's a van down by the station we can use.
Oh, I haven't tried my hand at driving before.
You're not.
You're not driving.
Before Yosemite can object, Yellowstone zips open the curtain.
Hold your horses! You girls aren't just gonna speed off and leave us in the dark, are ya?
Yes.
We're just as clueless as you are. If we figure anything out, we'll be sure to let you know.
But... I have questions!
Isn't life funny that way?
Try not to lose sleep over it.
Oh my god. Yosemite hums happily to herself as I start for the bathroom. Before I close the door, I hear Zion comfort her friend.
Don't worry, Yellowstone. We can just play Uno instead of thinking.
Uno, you have to think. What do you mean instead of thinking? You have to think in
In
Uno!
1901, Besant and Leadbeater published Thought Forms, a collection of their compiled work that was written from a theosophical perspective discussing the visualization of the emotions and thoughts people experience every day.
But you think stupid? What? No, you got a strategy. There's only if you want to win. Do you not play Uno with the intent to win? A bug splats into the windshield, one of many that are now caked to the car. I pull down on the lever? What is words? And cleaning fluid sprays onto the window. My windshield wipers mostly just spread the mess back and forth, the only serving to make things more slippery. We win in Uno by being stupid.
This is important because it's part of a wave of expansion in Western esotericism that occurred going into the 20th century, alongside groups such as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
I play to win. If I'm gonna play the funky card game, I need to break everybody around me. I've been driving so much today. The library is right next to the replica village I was giving the tour at earlier. If all of this had happened before I went in for work, I would have just brought Yosemite with me to save on gas.
But the real big takeaway from it, at least in my opinion, is that in the book, Besant and Leadbeater lay out 3 principles for this philosophy: quality of thought, nature of thought, and definiteness of thought.
I played a devastating. Yeah, no, that's a mood. That's a mood. But I also like to win too. Real. At least it's not too big of a loss. This drive is always therapeutic. Any drive where forests border me on both sides of the road are, even if this is one of the busiest areas of the park. Okay, I disagree. If I am driving and there is like huge bush or forest on both sides of me, I am fucking anxious. Like, there is something that is gonna run out at any moment. Or maybe that's because, like, over here, where I did a lot of, like, growing up when I was a younger flame, you would regularly have kangaroos cross the road in heavy, like, bush area. So, like, there were certain areas where if you were driving at night, you had to be so careful because there was a high chance a kangaroo was gonna fucking jump your car. So maybe that's just the anxiety instilled in me from that. But like the idea of driving where it's like heavy bush or forest, it's like, nah, something's gonna jump out at you. Like that is a high stress, tense time.
There's certain details that I disagree with, but they're the backbone of Dr. Angela Merrick's theory that I've been trying to elaborate on. That being mind creates matter.
Hope those kids are on a bus headed home by this point. Running into them would be sure to bulldoze what's left of my pride after how that tour went. Huh. I wonder if Yellowstone will save some leftovers for us. To be honest, I'm not sure when we're going to be back. We could be out well into the night if we find a lead.
Are you even listening to me?
Absolutely not. My attention turns from the beauty of Yosemite the park to the poutiness of Yosemite the girl. You'd be surprised by the difference. And the similarities. Oh my god.
Not gonna lie, I tuned out everything after Crowley. It's all voodoo to me.
The Lima, actually. But because you're helping me out, I'll let your disrespect slide just this once.
It's not disrespect. I just wasn't listening.
Yosemite stabs me with her eyes, shanking me with hundreds of tiny passive-aggressive daggers. Then she sighs and gives up. Because I win. Always and forever.
So, before I get my hopes up...
Oh my god, you have hopes? Next you're gonna tell me you have dreams, too!
Oh my god, just fucking kiss already. I can't take this anymore.
Before I throw you out of this vehicle, what do you think the chances are of us actually finding something of value at this library?
It depends on what you're looking for. This isn't exactly a public library, you know. It has records, essays, articles, and a bunch of other things I'm sure only you will find interesting.
Women kissing where? I don't know, man. I just need these two to hurry up and get it over and done with, because if they keep doing this, I'm gonna go insane. Like... Despite the last-second jab at her, Yosemite's knees bounce with restrained excitement as I list off the library's collection.
It sounds like a treasure trove. I won't be sure of what we're looking for until we get there, but now I'm positive we'll find it.
Hi, Savage! She notices her bouncing knee, then slams her fist down on the shin. It stops. She glances at me, looks out the window, turns to look at me again, then finally commits to the window.
Whatever it is.
What a freak. It's a little fun to watch, though. Makes me wonder just what exactly is going on in her head.
You sure do have a fetish for learning, huh?
How can Yosemite be this real? No, you're real for that. She looks so shaking her.
Fetish? Is there not a single bone, or organ, or tendon in your body that isn't crude? It is a fascination. Understand, you barbarian?
Baby, no. Baby.
Sure.
I do. I understand that she's embarrassed because I hit the nail right on top of its fragile little head. She huffs and puffs like a fussy grandma.
But, yes, if you're actually wondering, I find acquiring new information to be a joy. And the more I can indulge in it, the better.
I hide my teasing beneath a cough.
Fetish.
What is happening right now?
I despise you!
I despise you. Yeah, alright.
Sometimes.
You're not exactly a barrel of dandelions either.
She stretches my hat over her head until she looks like she's wearing a mask. It's hard to tell for sure over the rushing wind from outside, but I'm almost convinced I can hear the first few syllables of a muffled laugh.
I have my reasons, you know.
Swirling out of the depths of my hat, Yosemite plops her chin down on her fist and gazes out the window. For being a pretentious snob is the first response that zaps through my mind, but I decide to hold off. Because as much as I love getting under her skin, it's pretty cheap to devalue the things people care about. I know that. Or at least I do now.
Your research, right?
Yes, but not only that.
The seat squeaks as she shifts around. She settles on one position, her posture a little stiffer, then decides that's too uncomfortable and slouches. The process repeats itself.
Retaining information is difficult, especially in the long haul. I first noticed it with Zion. Then me, eventually. Memories seemed fuzzier. Details that used to be clear just began slipping away.
It's been about a week since the big blowout between Yosemite and Zion. All Zion wanted was to spend time together at a picnic, but Yosemite let the worst of herself get a hold of her and warped the nice gesture into a test, to see if she could trigger some memories in Zion. The North Guardian Angel was gorgeous, but that's one picnic I don't want to relive.
I noticed it in Yellowstone, too. Sometimes when she's cooking or cleaning or even just playing with Zion, she'll pause. Get this faraway look in her eyes, like she's missing something. I think it happens to all of us at one point or another. It might just come with the territory, with existing. But it feels like a curse.
You sure it's not just existing that's the curse?
It's all perspective, I suppose. Sometimes it sure does feel that way.
Hi, Skylar!
But for me, soaking up as much information as I possibly can, about anything, even things that might seem silly or esoteric, is how I cope with it. To make sure I never truly delude myself into thinking the essence of existing is suffering. Because there needs to be more to it than the things that scare me.
Damn, we're going hard here. Her words are desperate, but she says them with enough conviction for me to know that she's repeated this mantra to herself until she ended up believing it. Or at least until she got attached to it.
Color me jealous.
Are you setting up a sarcastic punchline, or is this a segue into genuine admiration for me?
The fact that you think jealousy equates to admiration says more about you than me. But, yeah, I mean it. You have an actual philosophy to live by. A structure of belief that drives you to action. That means you're tenacious, or tenaciously oblivious. Not everyone is so lucky.
We smack a bump in the road. Dangling from the ignition, the keys jingle. I moaned about it to Jesse when I got reassigned, but I wish someone cared enough to do something about the potholes. I wish that person were me.
God, I'm getting secondhand depression just listening to you. Motivations, beliefs, whatever it is that keeps you diving headfirst into insanity. That isn't something you're either born with or without. Attributing it to luck undermines not only your ability to seek truth, but also the one current that flows through every living and natural thing.
I keep one eye on the road and one eye on Yosemite, waiting for her to follow up. She doesn't. Instead, we just hit another pothole.
Ask what it is. This conversation warrants anticipation.
Oh my god.
You're unreal.
Ask me!
She whines. I roll my eyes and validate the spoiled child, then channel my inner Yellowstone.
Hot skippy, Yosemite! I don't got a clue about the thunk inside your thing. Hit me with them deeds!
I never want to hear that again. Now she gives me the transcendent stare.
It's will.
I hate her!
The intention to commit to an action that changes the surrounding environment. Intention. You have to have it when you get a cup of coffee. The Earth absorbs heat unevenly. Thus, it has intention to diffuse the gas via wind. But to act on intention takes will, which means anything with the potential to act, at the very least, shares will. If something exists, but it actively denies its capacity to change its reality, it's either oblivious to the power of its will, or
She grins at me with smug pity.
it's scared of it.
She sure is devoted to making sure her points are theatrical revelations. Gotcha therapy.
Dang, Yosemite. Your 8th grade pseudo-philosophy stabilized the serotonin in my body for the first time in years. I could feel my bootstraps lifting me into the sky as we speak.
Oh my god, why are they insufferable?
Quit strawmanning me with an adage I didn't even say. I just want you to act on your potential in a positive way. Because right now you're only using it to constipate yourself. With fear, Probably anger too.
Manspread, manipulate, and mansplain. Nick. I mean,
Wait, shut up. Did you just imply that you have an emotional investment in my long-term happiness?
Yosemite raises her finger to speak, then drops it. Her mouth mindlessly hangs open, frozen in stasis. Her hands fall to her lap, the safest place in the world. She fiddles with her thumbs instead of looking at me.
I do. Yeah.
Oh my god! We're having emotions!
Oh. Thanks, I guess.
While the voice on the inside of my head is busy screaming, I try to admire some of the trees on the side of the road. So textured, so green, so easy to distract myself with as I avoid the reality of Yosemite continuing today's tradition of being vulnerable. It's hard to swallow, because if Yosemite with all her egotism and fur put-upons can make the conscious effort to be truthful about her emotions, then I don't really have any excuse. And that sucks. Which is why I need to offer her a way out now.
It's just funny you say that, since there are some implications that crop up from that.
Like what?
She doesn't say it with any ironic doubt or gilded pity. It's plain and curious and genuine, and compromises some of my defenses, quite frankly. I grip the steering wheel until the rubber squeaks under my hands.
Well, you know, like how if you believe the potential for will exists in every natural thing, then you're saying people are part of nature, inherently. That's pretty optimistic for you, don't you think?
Eve.
She leans in and adjusts the rearview mirror, shifting it to face me. When she's done, she folds her hands for punctuation. When I look at the mirror, I don't get the privilege of looking out the back window. I get to look at myself.
I said what I said.
A blue 5. Let me see.
Save check? Okay, smart. We've been so bad at saving, actually. Ooh, that is like no saves. Look at us go. Oh no. What would you do without chat? Not have to read the comment that came right after that one, I'm not gonna lie. That was fucking whiplash.
There! 5. And I know you don't have any reds left. You may have to draw. Yellowstone. Stop daydreaming. It's your turn. This is very serious.
Yeah, Yellowstone, this is so serious.
Oopsie daisy. Me and my dilly-dallying. Let's see. Red 5, huh? Well, any other day, this would put me in a real pickle. But I'm thinking this wild card right here is gonna land me in... Uno! Again? You always save the fancy cards for last. It's extremely unfair. One more round. Yeah.
Hang on. Why is she asking to go again? She only just called Uno. That means she has one card left.
Yellowstone, if you don't want to play, I really wish you would come out and say it. What? No, that's not what's... Golly, I'm sorry, Zion. I just got brainworms squirming around in the old noggin, I guess.
Oh god, that's a fucking mood.
Brainworms? Don't
Don't tell me you actually ate one of our mud pies again.
Nah, not this time.
This time?
That memory, dream, vision, whatchamacallit we all had. I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm the best at not thinking about things.
This time?
Well, it was a very intense experience. It only makes sense for it to linger with you.
This time? She's eaten a mud pie before. Fucking...
But it's more than that. It was like I was seeing things through some other fella's eyes. Like it wasn't me.
I had a similar feeling. It was such a relief once it was over.
Why?
You're telling me. Except, it still kind of feels like I'm there. And then I got to thinking, what if what I saw in the whatchamacallit was the real me, and the me that's here right now is just a phony?
What is your justification for this, Rice? I am so curious. Why would you eat a mud pie?
What if I don't actually exist? What if you, Yosemite, Eve, and this entire park don't exist?
Okay, Yellowstone, okay. Okay, we need you to chill.
That's real screwed up, Yellowstone.
No!
I just You know, that is a very convincing argument. I will give you that one.
Oh, it's really bumming me out. Everything seemed so solid before. Now it all seems flimsy. Like a thin tater chip you can see through.
The mud, it kind of looks appetizing. I feel like there is some mud that would not look... Like, I feel like that's a... Anything looks appetizing if you stare long enough. I have Pika, and I can disagree with you still.
Don't be bummed out, Yellowstone. Here, let me draw us another hand and we can talk about it until you feel better.
I'm just imagining someone staring at dirt and then, like, after a bit of time, yeah, no, I'm gonna put that whole thing in my mouth. As a person who has like the issue, I also disagree. Okay, have you ever heard of a shoey? I haven't personally done it, but you say has licked their shoe. I raise you, it is very common in Australian drinking culture to do a shoey, where you literally take off your fucking shoe, fill it with alcohol, and fucking down it. So like, you may have licked your shoe, but there are a lot of people over in fucking Australia that just do shots out of their shoe that they had just worn on their feet. Excuse me. Yeah, like it's a whole ass thing. I haven't done it because no, but like that is a whole thing. You can look it up. Oh, that's real? No, but it's real. It is a very real thing. I have seen a lot of people do it. It's something. Just plug the holes. Problem solved. If you just plug the holes of your Crocs, you could absolutely do a Croc shoey. I wonder if anyone has tried that, actually. I feel like someone over here would have tried it. Like, you have to be really fucking drunk to do it. Like, really drunk. I wear boots, that's a whole bottle of drink there. Yeah, there you go. See? You'd be fucking getting yourself fucked up. Yeah, see, there you go. There you go, right there. It's a little bit stressful of an idea, but like, I've seen people do worse things with drinking alcohol. So like, you know, it's something, but I've seen worse places to drink alcohol from. Because over here we have a huge drinking culture. We also have a huge irresponsible drinking culture. Don't ask me how I know that. Anyway.
Really? You do that for me?
Of course. I love you. And besides, existence is extremely strange, especially if it's not something you consider very often.
Is it? Until Evo came along, I always felt like any Jack and Jill you'd see on the hiking trail. Well, minus the condom. But the way she talks about us makes me feel like some kind of goober that shouldn't be real. Like we're something out of a dream.
It's interesting that you mentioned dreams. People have theorized that life is one big dream since people could theorize.
Oh, like that one banger we always jam to. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a... Oh.
I don't know why, but I had a completely, like, different song come through to my thoughts that mentioned a dream. And it was not Row Row Your Boat, it was a completely different one. Oh, maybe I am mentally ill.
What is it?
Do you know that fancy word? That one that happens to you when your ticker starts beating real quick and you get so spooked you start sweating and it just keeps going until your brain sort of farts?
Anxiety?
Girl's got anxiety.
Zion, I think I have anxiety.
Yeah, Neki, what do you think it is? I hop out of the car and slam the door shut. Yosemite steps out and eases it shut. I don't hear it latch. Save check already? Okay, you know what? Alright. Anything for you. Whatever you say. The parking lot, grey and faded from the elements, bleeds into the replica village. We don't have to go and seek out the library because it's right there, edging into the village territory like an unwelcomed invader. The stone archway and kitsch arts and craft wood paneling don't do much to hide the facade.
Did you lock it?
Yes, Yosemite.
You didn't forget to turn the headlights off, did you?
They're automatic, Yosemite.
Did the engine sound weird to you? Because
You can stop now, Yosemite.
Little things tend to add up, you know.
Oh my god, shut up.
Yeah, like you're complaining.
Yosemite pouts in huffy silence, mouthing my words and scrunching her face into an impression of me, an overgrown child on an ego trip.
So how long do I have to wear this hat for anyway?
She tilts up the brim of the hat like a wannabe cowboy.
Until those daggers on the sides of your head fall off.
My ears are beautiful!
Yeah, girl! Your ears are so beautiful. Real, real, real. I was like, what? Daggers? And then, oh.
And also distracting. We'll have a lot of explaining to do if someone sees them.
I think everyone else should explain to me why their ears are so round and
I tug the hat over her eyes and start for the library. She pops back up from underneath the hat.
disrespectful.
You know all about that.
I wait for Yosemite at the door for 5 seconds longer than I'd like. When I turn around to scold her, she is frozen in the middle of the pathway, gazing at the replica village. She doesn't flinch, breathe, or move, as if she's in another trance. Okay, I guess she can have 10 more seconds. I whistle her over and pull her back to reality. She shuffles over to me, only looking back once before meeting me at the door. Instead of letting me, an employee of this park and the federal government, do it, she drags the damn thing open herself and barges in.
Museum!
Her face as she went in. Yosemite's mouth drops in awe as her voice echoes across the giant showroom. Dozens of Native American artifacts, from pottery to woven baskets, are displayed in cases of glass. The handful of people quietly enjoying the exhibit turn to us. My embarrassment is camouflaged by Yosemite's childlike joy.
I'm just going to sneak in real quick and read some of the plaques.
Oh, no, you aren't.
I snag her by the hood of her jacket and pull her down a hallway behind me.
But...
We'd be here all day. You can come back another time.
One day.
She goes limp, accepting her fate for the time being. I'm sure she'll keep this in her back pocket and guilt me into bringing her back eventually. The hallway is lined with mundane wooden doors, most of which are just offices and break rooms for the staff. One of them is for storage too, if I'm remembering right. At the end of the hall, the last door is held open by a rubber door stopper. A faded plaque hangs on the wall next to it. Yosemite National Park Research Library.
Oh, is this it?
That's right.
I was expecting something more elegant.
Oh my god, you're right, Possum, it is.
Ha!
Kneeing the door open, I squeeze through and let it smack Yosemite while it closes. Oh my god!
Ow! Thin ice.
Already melted.
I start to dig into my pocket for my lanyard and identification when a familiar sing-songy voice calls out to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie, but we aren't open to the public.
No one move.
Eve?
Sitting at the front desk, Jessie pokes her head out from behind a stack of paperwork, her hat balanced neatly on top of it.
Jessie, what are you doing here? Cheryl's always here on weekdays.
Well, Cheryl and some of the museum staff got laid off in the last round of budget cuts, so the upper brass has been exploiting, relying on volunteers more. So I thought, what the hey, I'm a registered volunteer, may as well take a vacation day to look after the old place and get some work done.
Oh, Jessie, you workaholic. Her mouth is saying one thing, but the twitch in her eye is saying something entirely different.
So you're not getting paid for this?
What can I do for you, Eve?
She sounds like she's about to cry. Yosemite looks on in stoic horror.
Your lives sound like nightmares.
Jessie perks up, staring right through me at the shiny new person she can hone her social skills with.
Oh, and who is this? I never see you with someone else, Eve.
If only she knew this person was who I've been spending most of my precious time with lately.
Friend from college. She's looking for some reference material before her study gets reviewed.
It reminds me of the Please Be Happy host. You're yeah. It does have those vibes. Now I'm thinking about Aspen.
A friend, huh? Do you let all your friends wear your hats? Or only the cute ones?
Jessie. She leans against the desk and wiggles around like a cat about to pounce on its toy. Very amusing, Jessie. Her immediately going for the hat is a little too close for comfort, though. If she digs up the truth about Yosemite now, it will basically confirm to me that she has a sixth sense.
Whatever you're trying to imply, you should stop.
Lou, you never talk about yourself. What choice do I have but to guess?
Oh, Jessie, I love you more than anything.
Do not.
You could at least tell me her name.
I'm halfway through taking my first breath when Yosemite dives in front of me and snatches Jessie's hand so she can vigorously shake it.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Lilith. If you want, you can put a doctor in front of that on account of my PhD, which I'm very proud of.
Her name is Y for real. Oh my god, the ego on this one. She has a backstory ready and everything. It's the role she's deluded herself into believing she was born to play. Jessie plays into Yosemite's narcissism and shakes her hand. Whether she actually believes this obvious lie or she's just going along with it to entertain herself, I'm not sure.
Oh, impressive. You keep some interesting company, Eve.
Yeah, she's the salt of the earth.
Well, Lilith, it's nice to meet you too. I'm Eve's supervisor.
Yes, Jessie, I've heard so much about you.
Oh no.
Thank you for looking after my tiny friend here. I know she can be a handful most of the time, but I think having positive influences like you has made her life significantly less miserable, despite her best efforts.
Oh my god. She's really going for it, putting every ounce of her being into the performance. Unfortunately for you, Yosemite, you're not the only one who can use words.
Oh, Lilith. You've changed so much since your days of passing out drunk on the lawns of frat houses, you massive piece of human garbage.
Oh my god. The room gets quieter than most libraries have ever the privilege of being. Having miscalculated the length of time I would put up with her crap in public, Yosemite's face goes pale. Oh my god. They should battle? What's their arena, Rice? What's their arena?
Damn. I'm not sure how you two haven't killed each other yet.
Please, Jesse, you don't understand what we are dealing with here. Jesse, I'm suffering.
It's a struggle.
The bitch! Oh, same brain cell. Jessie leans back in the rolling chair, decompressing with a sigh. Her eyes are half shut, ready to embrace the sweet gift of a cat nap the moment we're out of sight.
So, do you need me to pull out anything specific, or would you rather sift through the whole library?
Again, Yosemite grabs the conversation by the neck before I can even respond.
We'll dig through the whole library. It could mean we're here for a while, though.
That's fine. Just make sure to sign in. I don't know who looks at the sheet, but I'm sure it's important to someone somewhere.
She pushes forward a clipboard with a pen chained to it. I snag it before Yosemite can and log the time. For the name, I just put Eve Adams and Company. Yosemite takes it after I'm done anyway, then writes down the name of her new persona in the column below. She sticks her nose in the air, but we both know this victory is mine.
Just around this corner, then?
You make it sound simple, but yeah. Let me know if you need anything, girls.
Oh, don't leave.
Good luck!
Don't leave me. No! Why? Why? The cheerful tone ringing in Jessie's voice gives me every reason to be concerned. Too ominous. Too knowing. She shoos us away with a wave and slides the next form off the leaning tower of bureaucracy. The instant we turn the corner, it's horrifyingly apparent why she wished us good luck.
Christ, it's worse than I remember.
I assumed this would be a daunting task, but this is unwieldy.
The library is stacked to the ceiling with cardboard boxes. Overstuffed folders spill from shelves. It's like if Yosemite took her research and sprinkled it across the cabin. How could anyone ever let it get like this? I take 3 hesitant steps into the eye of the storm. My shoulder brushes against a pile of boxes. The top box teeters over and crashes onto the floor. Binders and folders and paper scattering across the floor. Mari's cry of despair. I was going through it. I'm still going through it. I miss her. Bring her back. I don't pink-haired women. I sigh and say a prayer for the mercy of death.
Where do we even start?
Well, Eve.
Yosemite bends over and starts gathering up the mess I've made. Not that it's any more recognizable than the bigger mess we're already standing in.
I suppose you'll just have to start on the left, and I'll just have to start on the right.
And then we'll meet in the center?
Oh, they're meeting in the middle.
Oh, Eve, don't be so difficult. For my sake, you can drag yourself further to the right.
Oh my god. I'm grabbing them like Barbie dolls, and I am just smashing them together at this point. Multiple hours have passed since we entered the library. Whenever I look at the clock, I'm surprised by how late it's gotten. There are no windows in this room, so it's impossible to gauge the time. When we entered, the golden sheen of afternoon was still beating down, but if we left now, I'm sure we'd be greeted by the blue tint of twilight. Not that I want to leave. Despite being at first intimidated by the lack of cohesion here, I've grown to enjoy being in this space. Not because it's especially beautiful or comfortable, after all. It's just an unambiguous, even. I can't read today. Sterile building surrounded by far more interesting wilderness. At the same time I went to read that, I went, oh my god, there's a clock ticking, and I just started focusing on the clock ticks. I enjoy it because I'm surrounded by heaps and mountains of information. With so much knowledge of places and people at my disposal, this space has become a watchtower of sorts for me. Only several minutes ago, I finished flipping through a decades-old study on mule deer within the park. When I closed my eyes and watched my breath, the emotions I was feeling would bloom into images, and I would see a mule deer. It would be cautiously glancing around, just within view of the astonishing height of Bridal Fall. When it was sure it was safe, it would graze, and peace would wash over it. The bliss of a clean consciousness, uncorrupted by ego. Then I would feel it too, as if I were that deer. It was obvious to me that deer was existing somewhere in this park. Even now, it still does. It was as clear to understand as having an arm, and as easy to believe as you being capable of moving it. That's why this place is a watchtower. It's the same reason why I feel so at home in the cabin, I suppose. Information is documented evidence of existence, and when circled by it, I can experience it all.
How you doing over there?
Eve calls out to me. We've both picked our own cramped tables to station ourselves at, her with one stack of pamphlets and books and me with another.
Stimulated. Nothing has triggered anything quite like that vision yet, but I'm learning tidbits about myself, the park that I didn't know. Also, a lot of this is validating info I already knew, which is invaluable to me, I assure you.
She scoffs and rolls her eyes, which I love. Oh, okay, we're dropping that word already. It's the whole reason I play up my snobbery. Her reactions. They fuel me, but also they reveal so much important things about her. Her fire and her willingness to fight, even if she denies it. The ranger is my friend. I admit that happily. Her offering to help and to take me here so I can learn about the things that plague me most is proof of our friendship. It doesn't matter to me if she feels the same, opposite, or any other way. Whatever is apparent is usually fact. This is worse than slow, but oh, you're telling me, Rice. Oh my god, you're telling me.
What are you up to over there? Staying protective, I hope?
Depends on your definition. It's probably nothing that would help you, if that's what you're wondering.
I have experienced so much, like, women love women slow burn, and well, they weren't these, and my god, the writers in this one have done a good job of making this, like, grips and tugs ears, like, my god, which is honestly really good. Like, holy shit, the writers are insane positive for what they're pulling off with this, because I am so frustrated, but in a good way. It's like, I am so frustrated, but holy fucking shit, I am loving this, and I am loving the emotion they're pulling out of this. Chapter 4 is where it really goes hard. Oh, I'm fucked.
Try me.
I reach my hand out and wait for her to pass off the folder. She groans and with all her willpower and strength, rises out of the folding chair. She is my friend, yes, but she still has a natural tendency towards laziness.
I was just starting to get comfortable, too.
Your noble sacrifice is noted.
Instead of handing me the folder, she swats away everything on the table that I was reading and flops it down in front of me.
So, what am I looking at here?
Words. They're a series of structured letters arranged in such a way to communicate information.
I take the folder and try smacking her face with it. She grabs my wrist and pins it back down to the table. What is a good way to do slow burn? I have a loving tendency with slow burn content to have it very lingering gazes, will they, won't they? The constant, like, second guessing of, well, they have, like, these very natural tendencies towards leaning to it, but it's the hesitation and the anxieties that are keeping them. And it's that gentle push and pull of the two people trying to gauge where they stand with each other. Can they progress further? It's that hesitated jump towards committing to something. That is the slow burn that I love. It's the slow burn where they fall so head over heels for each other so fast, but it's that inability to find that rhythm at first. It's that jumping into a new experience, and you know, that's what I love. That's the slow burn I love. Okay, not fanfic. Okay. Okay. Look, I just really love I love storytelling, and I love reading, and I love... Yeah, there you go. Fanfic readers are just very wordy. That's me. I just love a good slow burn trope, and I love the intricacies of a good slow burn. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just love so helplessly in love, but something's making them hesitate. Like, that shit hits so different. But I am also a huge fan. Like, I love slow burn, but I also love... Head with that 30... Do you know what? I actually have higher than 90 words per minute now. I think I'm over 100 words per minute now. Which I'm really excited about, because I tested myself recently and it was over 100. So, like, I'm getting faster. I'm getting so much faster at, like, typing. Like, I am so close to being at a speed where I can be one of those courtroom, like, people that type on their little fancy special keyboards. And, like, that's amazing. I want to be that fast. I have a friend who can write even, like taps even faster than me. And, like, I need to get to that level. They are insanely fast. I need to beat that. Then what is stopping you from writing fanfic? Nothing, I guess. I would need to be able to write. I take the folder and try smacking her face with it. She grabs my wrist and pins it back down to the table.
Next time.
You should write fics. Your Mari fanfic writing stream when? So, my natural POV for writing is a POV that not a lot of people like to read. So, I would already not be a great time if I did, because I tend to write a lot in, like, U, X, U, Y, like, you did this, you did that, or first person. So I tend to naturally gravitate between second, first, and then I had to try and teach myself third, because third I just struggle with really badly. Like, I have to really work on doing that, and I know that a lot of people with fanfic prefer third person, which makes it... First person is so good though. I see so many people talk shit about first person, so, like, I found that I gravitated away from it because of that. I'd just like to state that writing in first person is just making fanfiction. No. First person is, oh, I like this character, so I am gonna put on their hat, and I'm gonna insert their brain. See, as a fanfic reader, first person is no. Exactly. My favorite go-to is second person, though. I like doing the whole, like, you experience this and that, and, like, that kind of good build-up, like, really getting... Like, I like reading it as well. It's that pool of emotions and the thought process that builds and builds and builds, and you find as, like, a good second person writer can make you viscerally feel the feelings that they are trying to tell you that you are feeling. Like, that's what tells apart a good second POV writer and a second POV writer. Like, if they can really make you have that visceral reaction that they are telling you that you are having in that section of the story, then they are using the correct beats and the correct build-up. And if they're not, then you kind of just feel awkward. Like, I love my ships and favorite characters, but I'm not inserting myself. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of fanfic requires third POV, and I tend to have trouble with tense, like the use of tenses in that, so I avoid it. And that's why you'll never get a fanfic from me, because I cannot write. I cannot write to save my life. I can do funny words. Like, I can hit you with the funny words, but if I put them into paper, yeah, good luck with that one.
Uh-huh.
Never read fanfic? You are God's strongest soldier. It's okay, check in to help edit your fanfic to make it perfect. I would need an AO3 account, and AO3 has a huge waitlist, so it can't happen. But it's stacked against Joel. Some actual books that probably weren't any better than fanfic. Yeah. See, when I was younger, I wanted to be an author. And, like, going through schooling, my literature classes, my 10, 11, and 12th grade teachers, honestly, really pushed for me to follow that path, because I would get, like, any scoring range between 90 to 100%. So, like, that was my, anytime we had to do creative writing, I was between 90% and 100% in my gradings. My final exam, they gave us the option of an essay, a short story with a, like, theme, or, like, something else. And I picked the short story, and that was my highest grade. My literature exam was one of my highest out of all of my ATAR, because I got such a high-ranking score with what they made me use as a reference for it. Yeah, no, just in writing. It was funny, because, like, my essays, I, like, literally, like, for example, like, we would have to do essays on, like, The Great Gatsby and everything. Fucking, you know, standard stuff. I would range around 70-75%. Which over here is a good grade. Like, if you're getting that in Australia, that is a fucking good grade. And then, yeah, anytime I had to do the, like, creative writing side of things, I was between 90 and 100%. Poetry, I only passed one. Only one poem I have ever written for work, like writing work in my literature classes, which I did 3 years of lit, passed. And that was painful. That was heartbreaking. I literally had to be told by my multiple teachers, I don't think poetry is the right one for you. And I went, yeah, all right. It's the same as songwriting. Like, they were like, you just don't have the flow for that, but you have a natural flow for writing. And I was like, well, fuck me, I guess. 90 to 100 is kind of an expected grade here, depending on how good you are at academics. See, over here, an A is, like, either, like, depending on which state and school. My state and my school, if you got over 75%, that was an A grade. Your passing grade was as long as you were over 50%, you passed. A failure was under 50%. So, like, I know over here, our scoring is a lot more forgiving than a lot of other countries. You haven't read the Heart of the Woods fic that's as long as the actual game? That's insane. Wait, someone wrote a Heart of the Woods fic that's that long? Wait, a 75 is an A? Yeah! 75 is an A over here. That's, like, passing, like, A grade. Here, if you're lower than 8%, you have no room to go back. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, over here, if you get over, like, of course you want to aim for 100%. But academics-wise, as long as you're getting past 75%, you're fine. Like, I was a straight A student for most of my time in schooling because I was consistently in everything except for maths going over 75%. Like, my scores were incredible. And then I got to my final year and I spent more time in hospital than school, so my grades kind of got a bit flimsy. But my saving grace in my final year was my fucking lit score, because that thing shot it up. And with our ATAR over here, I did ATAR drama, so theater, and we had to write our own, and like, so write, stage, perform like a little scene, and that got a high mark as well, so I was really lucky with that. Okay, is your school hard because that's so forgiving? I don't know. Like, we have so okay, wait, no, I do know one thing that pissed off a lot of Americans. So my schooling routine was 8:20 a.m. we would have homeroom. 8:40 was period 1, period 2. We had recess for 20 minutes. Then we had period 3, period 4, lunch, period 5, period 6, finish by 3:30 or 3 o'clock on some days. And I know that pissed off a lot of Americans when I told them that. And then you just go home for the day. Or if you have like extracurricular stuff, like we don't do a lot of stuff like that. Like we do have like some things, like if you're in sports, sometimes they have meetups and all that, but there's not a lot of things that you do in schooling outside of school hours. Same with beforehand as well. Was this high school? Yeah. So in high school, we got recess and lunch. Shit was fucking mint. And then, because I took 5 ATAR subjects instead of 6, I got a study period. So I just got a free, also have recess and lunch. Fucking mint. America doesn't have recess in high school. And that, like, was insane for me. Like, I was shocked at that when I found that out. Because high school were some mutuals and period 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 till like 10 p.m. What? Until like 10 p.m.? People were in class until 10? That's whoa. Holy shit. When were they expected to sleep? He would study overnight during... Oh my god. Yeah, no, even in, like, our final year, they were very, like, firm on you finish at the same time as everyone else. Like, you finish at 3:30 or 3 o'clock on some days, and you go home. Like, they were very, this is your schedule, and that is it. And, like, I would finish school at 3:30, start my other job at 4, and then finish that job at about 9, 10 o'clock some days. So, like, I couldn't imagine studying and doing work until then, and then continue. That's insane. I know some colleges, like especially graduation college students. Yeah, I guess for like university and all that, you do have night classes. Oh my god. Maybe Australia is very spoiled. I mean, we are very spoiled in our like schooling system. I mean, we are lucky in the way that we get fully controversial. I am so fucking grateful that schools here have a uniform, because the anxiety of having to pick an outfit every day would just be way too much for me. I am so grateful that my schools had uniforms. Like, they were ugly as sin, but at least we all looked fucking ugly as sin. And I went to a Catholic school, so, like, I had the, like, my, like, maroon blazer, white shirt, maroon tie, checkered fucking skirt that was maroon and gray, these ugly-ass gray tights, black shoes, because they had a specific brand of black shoes that you had to wear. Yeah, no, yeah, or... Yeah, troublemaker type, yeah. Or, in the summer, we had, like, this, like, checkered dress that was the thinnest material that you could see through, so you had to wear specific color, like it was only slightly see-through, so you couldn't wear specific colors of like bras and all that, because otherwise it would be through, like you would see the vague color through it, so you had to use specific colors only. And it was this dress, socks and boots, and you were allowed to wear the school jumper. Yeah. 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 Honestly, I think having a uniform solved a lot of... Yeah, no, it absolutely did. It's... Fuck, it was so good. What the fuck type of uniforms do you have? Wait, I can, like, literally all of Australia's uniforms are the same. So I can go, let me grab one from a school that's not mine. I'm not gonna dox myself today, but literally all of our uniforms are super similar, that I can grab any school in Australia. Yeah, no, literally, if you type in Catholic School Uniform Australia, all of these uniforms are exactly like what I had to wear. Oh my god, this is a completely different school and they're the same fucking colors. That's so funny, actually. Holy shit. We all were just made to suffer with these ugliest sin outfits, actually. That's kind of funny. Oh, I am having realizations. Oh, that's a nightmare. Oh my god, keyboard Mario, I missed ya. Literally every school uniform is different here. That's crazy. Like, I'm just looking at, like, random fucking things from this, and yeah, no, like, this is whole ass what we had to deal with. That's in my state, so I'm not gonna show you that one. But yeah, no, they were bad. They were really, really bad. Like, really bad. They definitely were something. I'm trying to find one that's not in my state. But like, yeah, no, it definitely helped having that, because we all just had to suffer together, you know? And if we all suffer together, we don't fucking fight each other over how our uniforms look. But I will tell you this. It was very common for, like, the girls, because, like, they would want it so that if you were on your knees, like, they would sometimes come into the classroom to do uniform checks, and the girls would have to get on their knees in front of the teacher, and if your skirt was not touching the floor, you would get your ass in trouble. So basically, what we would do is we would, at the very top of the skirt, roll it up, and then if they did the random checks, you would subtly bring it down a little. Like, you would unroll it slightly when they're not looking, because you would have your really baggy jumper on, so that when you had to do the checks, it would be the correct size, and then you could just roll it back up again afterwards. So you would not get in trouble, and because you had been random checked, you got away with it. Oh god, the uniform checks are real. Fuck the uniform checks, man. I hated that shit so much. But, like, I only got in trouble because my tie was never right. Because we would cheat with our ties. We'd do them once, and then we'd kind of, like, loosen them, take them off, and tighten them every day. So sometimes they would get a little bit, like, skewiffed, and then you would get in trouble because it's not perfect. And then I'm like, well, then do it for me then, teacher. It's good fun now. God, man. Nah, I'm suffering through that, I'm not gonna lie. I hated the blazer, though. The blazer was always so, like, I felt so uncomfortable in it, because I'd just be like, please get this off of me. But we would only need to wear our blazer before school started, during first period, and as we were leaving school. Throughout the rest of the day, you could shove it in your locker and just tell it to get fucked. Was it not too hot there? It was hot. It was hot. They didn't care. Why would they care? They'd make you wear it anyway. The only time I got in trouble was because I pulled my long sleeves up. We were doing a project that needed to paint. It would have stained my white sleeves. Oh my god. Bro, why would they let you risk your sleeves? You would then get in trouble for getting the paint on the sleeves. Like, you did the right thing in that case. That's insane. See, we also weren't allowed any makeup at all. So no makeup. Our hair had to be certain length, certain colors. So the second I was no longer under... I don't know, man, having nuns as your school presidents. Yeah, that explains everything, actually. But yeah, no, the second I graduated, and I was like, we basically, after we finished, before we go into our final exams, we're classified as finished. So we could do whatever we wanted as we were coming in for exams. So I dyed my hair. They couldn't do anything about it. What were they gonna do? Tell me off? I was done. I walked into my exams with bright blue fucking streaks in my hair. They couldn't do shit. One of my teachers was like, that's actually really pretty. I was like, thanks, I wanted to do this for years. And then, you know, what else could they do other than just compliment it, I guess? Rebellion? Yeah, no. I needed to do something fun. All those years of not being able to do anything fun with, like, my hair, I had to do something fun. And... oh, thank you so much, Karazu, for the follow. Thank you. Hello, how are you today? We're currently a little bit distracted, but we are playing through another chapter. Why did my sound audio not go off? Oh, it is I, the boulder. Amazing. Got in trouble because of his hair, and dude was mad and just shaved the whole hair. You know what? That is such a fucking, like... yeah, I'd give him that. That's insane. But I want to know why my audio didn't come through just then. We played together in Valor with Mori. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi! 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 Hello! Hello, how are you? You've come in at the funniest time, I'm so sorry. We're currently talking about how silly the education system is in Australia and around the world. What is this very stuff? Oh my god, man. Okay, so to give you the rundown, these two women right in front of us are very will they won't they at the moment. Like, they have these small moments of vulnerability where you're like, okay, no, they're finally starting to get emotions for each other, and then someone does something and says something stupid, and then we're back to square one again. One of them's love language is sarcasm. The other one is aggression. We're doing something. Like, it's something. Welcome to Toxic Year. Yeah, like, it's insane. And then one of them will say something oddly soft, and then the other one's like, oh shit. Oh no, we're getting too close to feeling genuine emotion with each other. Better say something insane to, you know, even the ground a bit. And you're like, please, I am throwing you together like Barbie dolls right now to make something happen. Because if you guys won't, it is me and the will of God that will make it happen. Like, it is insane. We're going through it in this club tonight. But it's a good game. It's a really good game. I am really loving this game. Like, the writers are doing it well. Because if I'm frustrated about it, then they're doing it right. And that's insane, because I am so fussy on this exact dynamic that I hate a lot of this dynamic. But they have me invested. I am so ready. Because sometimes I just get so tired of it, and I'm like, okay, you've lost my interest. They're keeping, like, they're really good at it. Also, I fucking love Eve. Eve is so funny. Eve punched a guy. And I think she should do it again. But when we're here to witness it. I want to know why my audio didn't come through. I'm gonna have to fix that later. See, I touched things. I shouldn't have touched things. What did I touch to make it not work? You know what? That's a tomorrow problem.
It's a collection of personal journals from folks who were in the Mariposa Battalion.
Brushing up on your Gold Rush history, are we?
Not really. I was giving a tour of the Awanichi village to some 4th graders earlier today, so it's been on my mind. Was gonna get into the real nitty-gritty of it all when their teacher got in the way. Don't think the parents were too happy with me.
Eve, that's an understatement.
Can't have little ears hearing inconvenient truths.
Oh my god.
It was convenient for them in the long run. Convenient for Governor McDougal to give the go-ahead. Convenient for James Savage to lead. Convenient to manifest destiny and benefit from it.
Probably not so convenient for the Awanichi.
Good night, Rise. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe, make good choices. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and thank you for coming in today. It was good to see you again.
Probably not.
There's a stiff silence that follows. And for good reason. These are difficult things to contemplate. Time really isn't that big of a barrier between the past and the present. Old scars may as well be fresh wounds when gone untreated, and much like how I can feel the presence of that mule deer, I can feel those scars. They wrap around me, all of me, as integral to this environment and space as the mountains and trees. Unescapable. My memories may fade, but sorrow's imprint will always remain. To carry the burden of lingering horror and melancholy is my duty as Yosemite, I feel.
It's hard to find motivation to work here for a lot of reasons. But knowing what people are capable of and why this place is even a park to begin with, that might be the hardest.
Eve doesn't face me while saying these things. Her chin is down, as her eyes. Easier to internalize the results of history rather than to confront her face to face.
Your action is more valuable than your guilt. Do your part by doing something. You've already had this epiphany. Now apply it elsewhere.
My words come out pointed and harsh. As intended. She is too much like me, getting so caught up in the web of her thoughts that nothing productive comes of it. That's why her and I need one another, so the other can cut through it. See, we're having that step forward. We're gonna take a step back.
As for the evils people do.
I flash her a smile. It's a forced one, and I'm not sure I'm particularly good at it, but levity is sometimes important for emphasizing points.
They're capable of much greater goods.
Eve smirks. My smile no longer feels forced. And then her smirk twists into a smug distortion. She's such a wretched little thing.
Interesting to hear you, of all people, say that. The night we met, you couldn't stop talking about how people suck the big one.
It's not a rolling chair, but I force myself to turn it anyway. Let her see my reaction would be to admit that any of her turnarounds and comebacks actually have effect on me. We can't have that. There are appearances to keep up. Appearances!
Perhaps this will surprise you, but even I am capable of having my mind changed.
Hey.
She doesn't say anything else, and I don't think she will until I acknowledge that she has something more to say. To end the game of chicken, I glance over my shoulder. Only casually, though.
It happens to the best of us.
To the best of us? I spin back around, a hair away from asking her to follow up on that. She only nods. I chuckle. Such a lie, but I don't mind the two of us deluding ourselves together.
We're hardly the best.
Of course we are. Of the worst.
The silence that follows isn't stiff this time. It's comfortable and lovely, like the mornings we share together. I do enjoy a good, stimulating debate, but moments where nothing needs to be said are precious.
Speaking with your eyes, girls.
Oh, Jessie, I've missed you. Don't leave me again. However, all precious things must come to an end, and this ending is brought to us by none other than Eve's supervisor herself, Jessie, I believe.
Just ignore her, Lilith. She'll eventually go away.
Jessie, you are so real for that. You are so right. You are so right. She is so pretty. I am in love with this woman. She is perfect. Trust me. She is so good. She is amazing. I love her so much. I miss her every time she is off screen. I also, yes, Face. I also love pink women. women. Have you heard of a have you heard of Alicia from Honkai Impact by any chance? If you love pink women, have you? Because she is the pink women of all time. I'm just saying. if you are a connoisseur of pink women. I love when other people love pink women because I'm like, yes. Or Yai Miko. Oh, Alicia. Yeah! Let's go! Based! Our Lord and Savior Jesus, pink hair. I love lesbian Jesus. The urge to replay Honkai is so strong just because I love her so much. She's so good. She died for our sins, our gay sins. The sins to allow us to be even fucking gayer. Oh, I love her so much. Jessie clutches her chest in agony.
Please. That wouldn't really hurt. All I want to do is tease and love on you. Is that so bad?
You can just, Jessie, tucked her behind your arm, available. Anytime. You can tease and love on me if you want. Hi, Teddy! Hi, Teddy. Thank you so much for the raid. I am sorry that you arrived in a moment of weakness. Oh, no. How are you today? Are you doing well? Are you having... How was stream? Did you have a good stream? Did some investigating? Did you win? Did you win at your investigating? I am so sorry that you had to come into me being so down bad for a pink-haired woman. It'll probably happen again. I'm sorry. Are you seeing her? Look at her. Is she not perfect? Like, we love Jessie in this household. This is 3 pretty women. Pink-haired woman. She's so good. Not complaining, she is perfect. So true, so real. I love her so much. She is so baby.
I'd say it's a good way to knock her down to size. But maybe she's short enough as it is.
Oh my god, they're gonna gang up on her. It's Women Wednesday. Are the winsome women winning? They are so winning. Like, we are having some insane moments today. I will say we are currently streaming chapter 4. So if you are trying to avoid spoilers, this would be a good time to look away. For those of you who don't know, by the way, I am so sorry this is the way that you were introduced to me for the first time, but my name is Marielle Aurelia, Keeper of the Flames and Idol of Natural Disasters. We are currently playing Women Love Wednesday, which this Women Love Wednesday stream is National Park Girls. And we do this every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we play visual novels that are Women Love Women focused because women do be loving Wednesdays. And sometimes on Women Love Wednesdays, we cave to our deepest sins and we play Valorant. But that's not gonna happen this for a while. Oh, Mitsuki, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. Man, we're getting so close to our next goal. That's insane. Oh my goodness.
Is that your screwed up way of defending me?
But I am very excited for women to be wed because, my lord, will it be happening?
No, it was an insult.
See? Me and you could have this exact same dynamic if you only let it happen, Eve.
Trust me, what me and you have is better than this.
Raiders, go watch Mari's. Possum's getting in on that straight away. Yes, Raiders, I am an idol, so I do have covers. My first cover was posted. I currently have an agreement with chat that if the cover gets to 888 views, which it is currently at 670 something views, I think I was last shown, I will do a karaoke stream. So they're really pushing that one at the moment. God bless. There it is. That one stops Jessie's tampering in one swift blur, reducing her to a stuttering, borderline blubbering state.
Oh, well, thank you. Gosh, maybe I am making an impact.
She doesn't realize this was all just a way for Eve to get in a dig at me, but the compliment seems to make her happy enough. What with her restrained wiggling. Hi, Natsu! Regardless, I do believe that Eve loves this woman quite a bit. I'd go as far as to say the appreciation may run so deep she would actually admit to it if pressed.
Anyway, girls, just wanted to let you know that this place is technically going to close soon. But since Eve is staff, I don't see a problem with you staying. As long as you remember to lock up afterwards.
Now it makes sense as to why Eve is so fond of her. Jessie is wonderful.
Don't just stand there, Eve. Thank the kind lady.
Oh my god.
Thanks, kind lady.
You're welcome, rotten girl.
They both lean in for a side hug. As they do, Jessie decides it's time to take a peek over my shoulder.
So, what was it that you two were looking into again?
Jessie, you're so real for that, actually.
Someone has nosy tendencies.
Hey, cut it out. Only I can give her crap for that.
But it's so obviously true.
No wonder Eve is so careful when it comes to us. It's not far-fetched to imagine a scenario where Jessie gets just a tad too curious for her own good and finds out about me, or Yellowstone, or Zion.
Sorry, she's right. It's a bad habit of mine. I just thought maybe I could help you find what you're looking for. Whatever that happens to be.
Oh, Jessie, don't apologize. I love you so much. Eve's eyes worm their way over to my direction. I reply in turn, shooting her a dirty look. She does the same, and it's filthier. Fine. As much as I would love to stay here for all of eternity, and perhaps then some help would come in handy. No guarantee she'll have any idea what I'm talking about, though. To be frank, it's difficult to talk about, not without thinking about that vision, the intensity of its absolute reality. After all, the only reason I was able to explain any of it to the Ranger was because... well, because it was her. It's been a couple of minutes already. You know what? You're real. But if she insists on letting Jessie in on some of the happenings, I suppose I can bite the metaphorical bullet just this once. It should be easy enough to dance around any information she doesn't absolutely need to know. I sigh and give in. Jessie looks wounded by my lack of enthusiasm, but my hesitation has nothing to do with her. I'm just a private person. Creature. Thing. Whatever I am.
Over the course of my research, I briefly stumbled upon some pictures. They were of a cave somewhere in this park. I believe they're valuable to some of the information I'm presenting in my article. Unfortunately, neither me nor Eve have been able to identify the caves.
Do you have the pictures with you? You could try to match them with the photos you come across here.
Already poking holes in my flimsy story. Does she do this naturally? Is she just an inquisitive soul? Goodness.
Like I said, I only saw them for a brief moment. You could say they flashed by. And I have no way of referring back to them.
How?
Ever.
Eve is shooting me annoyed looks. And if we could communicate via telepathy, I'm sure she would be giving me an earful over how crappy my lying skills are. As if she could do better.
There are lots of caves in this park. Some of the systems go on for miles. It makes sense that you're having such a hard time narrowing it down.
Oh, Kalyani, thank you so much for the follow. Hello. How are you today? Well, your friend? I'm amazing. Oh my goodness. Where's everyone coming from today? Oh my goodness. I'm losing my mind. Oh my goodness, hello, hope you're doing well. We are currently up to chapter 4 of National Park Girls. It is a Women Love Women visual novel. It's like a raid happened to something. I know. You're real. Yep. True. You're right. Jessie leaves the proximity. At first I think she's ending the conversation without exchanging any of the usual pointless pleasantries, which more people should do really, but then stops at a bookshelf. See, I'm just excited because I think we're now 2 away from 300, which is insane, so I'm like, oh my god, hello. Mori brought me... Mori is working overtime. Hello! Oh my goodness.
But if you can't find any info on it, there's probably a pretty dang good reason.
Mari? Hi, yes, my name is Mari. Mariel Aurelia, Keeper of the Flames. An idol. That is me. Help, who's Mori's wife? Hi! She slides out a beige folder coated with dust. With a sharp blow of her breath, all of it goes flying, like particles of time drifting to the ground.
So, unless I'm finally going batty, what you're looking for is probably closer than you think.
Opening the folder, she takes out a thick piece of paper and begins the process of unfolding it. When she's done, it's bigger and taller than all 3 of our heads put together. Remember the A in Mari's Australia? Oh, that's the first time I've heard that one. Oh no. Oh no.
Is that a map of the park?
That's right, and an old one too.
I must witness.
I must witness. What is that game line? Like, that feels like a fucking call out from a character in a game. Like an outline? Maybe I'm in fellow brain again. I make grabby motions at it. Jessie ignores my plea and spreads it out on the table.
So excitable. But be careful, I'm not sure how many of these we have archived.
Handling old things is my specialty.
She is an old
Maybe
thing.
you should try specializing in patience next.
Oh my god.
And maybe you should try not being an empty, miserable shell.
Well, maybe you should.
Jessie, save us.
Ladies! Really?
Thank you, Jessie.
She brings out the worst in me.
You do that yourself.
I take back what I said. Maybe I don't want what you two have.
No, Jessie, you and me
The
instead.
map?
Right.
Oh my god.
Every so often, management will decide to stop promoting certain areas of the park. Usually because of safety or environmental concerns. This will typically involve removing trail markers and taking it off the maps we hand out.
Do you think that might be the case for the place we're looking for?
There's a good chance.
I lean out of my chair and hover over the table. The map is faded in places, with torn and dog-eared corners, but is still legible. Nearly all of the locations are places I recognize, as I should, all except for one. I point at it.
Indian Caves. What is this?
Good eye, Lilith. That's what I was about to show you.
What? How come I've never heard of it?
This park has been here longer than the 5 years you worked at it, honey.
Can confirm. I'm proof of it.
This place used to be marked like any other area of the park. It was popular too, being so close to Lake Mirror and all. The caves were easy to explore and walk through, so it was great for kids.
But...
I hate giving your cynical side more ammo, but it's probably what you're thinking. People kept leaving their trash and camping gear there.
it was too much of a hassle for anyone to bother cleaning it up, right?
Right.
Jessie's tone is bleak. It's as if she regretted bringing this part up the moment it left her mouth. She must be more invested in changing Eve's perspective than I could have guessed. Not that I disagree with the goal, but no meaningful change will happen if you deny her the truth.
It breaks off from a trail and is pretty out of the way. You know how difficult resource management is here, so you can't really blame them.
Oh, I can, and I will.
Yeah, Eve. Eve leans over the table and observes the map with me.
Lake Mirror isn't too far from here. What do you think?
That we should pay it a visit.
Now?
You don't have anywhere better to be.
I'm only letting you have that one because it's true.
Excuse me, you can't go now. It'll be pitch dark.
It's your day off, right?
Technically.
We're good. I don't have to listen to her.
Oh my god. Eve!
Don't just ignore me after I helped you.
Eve folds the map. It's only after it's in her back pocket does she ask the relevant question.
Hey, Jessie, you don't mind if we borrow this, do you?
Only able to squeak out a series of helpless stutters, Jessie soothes her head. Looks like Eve inspires migraines in more beings in the world than just me.
Fine. Just make sure to bring it back. There's supposed to be more red tape involved in this, but
Eve stops her mid-panic with a hug.
Thanks. I'll never let anything bad happen under your watch again. I promise.
Aww, that's so cute. Jessie's face goes blank, then her lip quivers.
You can't just say stuff like that and not expect me to.
She fights back a sniffle.
Just leave, okay? Get out of here, get!
I'm so emotionally attached to Jessie. If anything ever happens to her, I would destroy every single living thing on this earth, and then I can't save myself because that's impossible, but you get what I'm saying. If only Jessie knew how wrong she is. She has a healthier relationship with Eve than I could probably ever hope for. After all, they're both human. I'm not.
Come on, let's go.
Eve breaks out of the hug and starts for the door.
Hold on! You can't just tell me what to do!
Just did. Now hurry up. Lake Mirror isn't that far, so it should only be a 10-minute drive.
I scramble out of the chair and catch up to her. We're almost out of the door when Jessie calls out.
And Eve, please don't blame the people who visit this park for what's wrong with it.
Coming around to people, actually. It's the lazy institutions they build I have a problem with.
Oh my god. There's a short pause from Jessie as we exit the library. Her voice fades out as the door closes.
I'll take that as a win!
Oh no, she's gonna leave me again. No!
Not to invalidate your feelings, because I know they're very important, but what part of life maybe being a dream makes you anxious? Green 5.
Oh my god, it's nighttime and they're still going on about this crisis. Thank you for the save check. What would I do without you?
Cully, what part about it doesn't scare me? If it's true, then there's just lots of little details that pile up. Green 9.
Like what? I need to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you mean like the first episode? Because there's no saves on the first episode.
Aha! Yellow 9!
Well, it's like, does that mean everyone else is dreaming too? Or are we just some other fella's dream? Oh, or maybe it's all my dream. All those things are freaky in different ways. Draw 4.
She's having a crisis.
So evil! Fine. 4 cards. Blue 3. What makes each of those scary to you? If you don't mind me asking.
Good gravy. You don't gotta be all polite and cred when I'm spilling my guts to ya. But if I were to try to articulate it... If it's the first one, then who are we and why are we dreaming? If it's the second thing, then why the heck am I having dreams inside of dreams? And why do I feel so gosh darn real? Oh, looks like I gotta draw. 1, 2, green 3.
What about the third one?
This girl is gonna give me a fucking crisis.
That one's the freakiest! Because if I'm the one dreaming, that means nobody else is real. And I'm all by my lonesome.
The voices, the voices.
You're not alone. I promise that I'm real. I'm conscious. And I'm really consciously loving you.
Oh, she's such a cute little sister fucking
I
vibe.
wanna believe ya. But what if the dream is just telling me to dream you saying that?
Oh, I can see how that could be scary. Still, I hope you can believe me. One day. Wild card!
No greens or threes, huh?
No. What makes the first reason scary?
Well, it definitely ain't this blue 2 I'm about to throw down. But I guess it's 'cause if we're all dreaming, then that means we can't be who we are right now. We could be anything. Like little green men in a simulation.
Little green men in a simulation. What are they referencing there?
Ooh. Or maybe we're all just the same being living over and over and over. And this doesn't end until every piece of organic existence has been experienced?
Are we organic?
I'm having a crisis.
I have leaves.
That... Real.
And a yellow too.
Let me draw.
Why are they giving us existential dread right now?
What you're yakking about is pretty much what I said about all of us being some other fella's dream.
Well, isn't that close to what Yosemite believes?
You mean that complicated universal consciousness jibber-jabber that I always zone out during?
Uh-huh. Yosemite's theory is that we exist because humans are aware national parks exist, and that their awareness becomes matter. Cultural misconceptions and all.
Guess that explains my noggin.
What is it?
Red 2!
Oh my god.
And also, if humans made us, then who made humans?
You see the discard pile? Maybe it's like that.
The natural parks and our native lands, where are they? I do not know.
Like what?
I do not know, Neki.
Cards.
Cards?
All the way down.
All the way down?
Cards all the way down.
I am curious as to why they they've made them look like siblings, though. Because if you didn't know, you would think these two are sisters. Is she having a breakdown?
The cards stop at the table, Zion.
What is happening with this woman? What is she?
I think we're just about there. Make sure you keep up.
How about you slow down?
Something's about to happen. Alright, prepare yourself emotionally. Eve snorts out deep, heavy breaths as she drags her feet behind me. Perhaps I'm going at a faster pace than usual, but it's her fault for not being able to keep up with me. Save check. Meanwhile, I'm doing the important work of guiding us in the proper direction. This map isn't too difficult to follow, but finding this trail was a task, to put it lightly. We had to park at a hotel, stumble around until we found a bike path, and then finally we found the proper path, only after missing it 3 times. By the time we had been through the whole ordeal, the night, in all its blackness, had crept up on us. Now the moon hangs high in the center of the sky, glowing and full, so bright it blots out the stars. A cold wind blows, rattling the leaves. If it were visible to the naked eye, I suspect it would look like a musical staff, the clefs and notes swirling through the branches. There's a darkness in the air tonight, ominous thickness I can't place. As we get closer to the caves, the feeling only gets heavier. The butterflies and excitement I felt in my stomach when we left the library have slithered straight to my head, morphing into the throbbing anxiety. There are only 2 options before me now. I will find truth, or I will find none. The possible implications of both scare me. I slow my pace until I stop. Eve catches up, only to continue past me. When she realizes I'm not moving, she pauses and glances back.
Something up? You had all the piss and vinegar in the world in you a few minutes ago.
I purse my lips but talk anyway. Fear has never kept me quiet before.
Should we turn back?
She continues on, but I don't follow. Her shoulders heave down in a sigh. She turns around.
No, because you'd regret it.
How are you so sure?
Because I'd never let you hear the end of it.
Oh my god. Even if the moon wasn't bright, I'd be able to see her expression clearly. Just one of the many small differences that make me inhuman. But when I see her serious, deadpan face spotlighted by the moon, I know that, maybe even more so than the information I'll receive tonight, is truth. Eve lies to herself, but I know she doesn't lie to me. So now, I follow her. Deeper into the dark woods we go, away from the Yosemite that I am and know. Night has never seemed so still before. Not a single animal is rustling about in bushes, no night birds in trees, just the dark silence daring us to go further. I look at the map and let my dread do the guessing as to how far away we are. How many more steps will it take until the unknown becomes known? 10? 100? Will we wander these woods forever? Maybe Eve won't, but I think I will. That is my fate, after all. To haunt this place. I always thought that I exist to speak for this park, but perhaps I'm only here to be its ghost, wailing and moaning until enough people have returned to the dirt that their descendants forget this place. If that's my purpose, then I am destined to cycle through it over and over, like a cog, except I won't stop spinning until the whole machine breaks down.
Think this is the place?
Welcome back, Eve! Eve stops. We've reached our destination whether I like it or not.
Why ask questions you already know the answer to?
Because I know you'll give me one, regardless of whether I want it.
Eve shines the flashlight on the cave, and it isn't much of a cave at all. Nothing as romantic as being carved into the stone of a mountain or hill as if you're entering the jaws of fate. Instead, it's merely boulders stacked on top of boulders. How they got there is a mystery unknown to time or myself, but they've been there long enough to have grown moss, to have merged with the ancestral ground. Openings, big enough for a person to slide into, reveal themselves between the rock's jagged shapes. Thin trees guard the various entrances, their wilted and solemn forms extending far into the night sky.
You ready?
No. Let's get on with it.
I march onwards, past Eve. She draws in a deep breath, whether it's supposed steadying or just her usual exasperation getting the worst of her. I can't tell. Twigs snap beneath her boots as she follows me. The entrance is half blocked off by a rock the size of a bear you would expect to sleep in this cave. Big enough to slip through with some persistence, but not comfortable. I signal Eve in its direction. She points the flashlight down into the cave. It illuminates the small space with warm light, only getting more narrow the further along it goes. Peering in, it looks like a dim, cozy chapel.
Unless you're in the mood to get stuck, there's no way that'll fit both of us.
I glance into the cave. The light wobbles and secret corners get darker as the flashlight shakes in Eve's hand. A deep frown strains her cheeks. And I secretly hope it's pity. It would be nice to be pitied.
Well, here goes everything.
I take the first step through the mouth of the cave, listening to the sweet lullaby of the crickets. The warmth of Eve's breath brushes against the nape of my neck.
Please don't leave.
Not that I could with how stunned I am, but she doesn't even give me time to answer before she wiggles and drops down into the cave. Idiot. You can go anywhere within the park in a blink of an eye. It wouldn't matter if I did. But even then, I've already spent 5 years at this job. 5 years with you. I just can't get up and leave. Not yet. Yosemite dusts herself off as she inspects the inside of the cave. She places her hand against the rock and traces it over the walls, as if absorbing some unsaid knowledge it possesses. A freezing spike drills through my heart. My vision goes dead black, flickering like a bad signal. I think 5 years is in, like, because she's worked at the park for 5 years, so she's thinking 5 years with Yosemite Park being equivalent to 5 years Yosemite person at, like, the same time. I clutch my chest, squeezing it until the pain fades. When it's gone, my vision returns.
Ah!
Yosemite gasps. She yanks away her hand.
It's just like earlier. Yosemite! What did you see?
I could really go for the comfort of a smartass answer right about now, but I don't get that luxury. Instead, she turns to me, her stern eyes swimming with fear, breath heavy.
I'm going deeper.
You're what?
She walks further in.
Yosemite?
Slipping past a wall, she disappears into the darkness beyond the warm comfort of the flashlight.
Yosemite!
No answer.
You're such a pain.
Just how out of my depth am I? I don't understand any of this. Every part of me wants to go in after her, and yet I don't know. It feels like there's something inside of me, something that's not me. It's not talking, it's not speaking, it's not echoing through my head, but it wants me staying put. It doesn't want me messing with things that aren't intended for me. To leave the secret to the seekers. Like Yosemite, I guess. Maybe what's communicating all this to me is Yosemite. It feels like her. Her scolding, the talking down to. God help me if she can spread the will of her ego without even saying a word.
Fine! I'll wait! You hear that? I'll wait!
My voice bounces through the cave. Again, no answer. But this time, I feel like one wasn't intended. I wonder if I'm in some asylum somewhere, hallucinating all of this. Yosemite, Yellowstone, Zion, maybe cracking that guy in the skull is what finally broke my mind. Or better yet, this is just a dream. All of it. It'd be a pretty wonderful dream then. Crouched on this rock like some kind of woodland goblin, I gaze up at the guardian trees circling the cave. I click the flashlight off. Just me, the night, and the wind. Eventually, my eyes adjust and I can see the top of the trees. A bird is perched on a branch sleeping, a silhouetted cloud drifting through the sky. My heart is beating, my chest is breathing, my head is spinning, and I'm aware of all of it. It makes me uneasy, but sometimes it feels nice to be uneasy. Oh, fuck. A scream bellows out of the caverns of the cave, first dull and tinny, then sharp and resonant as the sound escapes the entrance and stabs my ears. Only a few precious syllables spill out of my mouth before I'm silenced. The sharp pain is back. It gunshots into my chest. Yosemite's screams hasn't stopped. It keeps going breathlessly into eternity. Black, static, vision. I'm outside the cabin. I can see Yellowstone and Zion sitting at the table through the window.
Guys!
My vision is stolen from me again. The pain shoots back up with a vengeance. Static, endless static. Sight. Now I'm in the middle of a clearing. I recognize this place. It's where the fire happened. With those campers, the cigarettes, Yosemite.
What is this?
Darkness, static, and pain, screaming right into my eardrum. I stand in the middle of the replica village, right outside the sweat lodge. The museum looms over it. Its peering windows and wide doors form together to look like a violent face. The location cycles. Yosemite screams. All of this happens again and again and again and again and again and again. All I want is for it to end. It doesn't. I clap my hands over my ears, shut my eyes tight. Everything is out of control. Everything is out of control. This is all I can do. And I'll do it forever if I have to. Forever. God, Please end this pain. Can't be forever. Please don't trap me like this forever. My feet stumble. I catch myself with my left foot and my right knee crashes onto a rock. I'm kneeling. I wait for another cycle to happen, but it doesn't. Is it over? I lower my hands from my ears. When I open my eyes, I realize I'm back to the entrance of the cave, sitting on the rock like I've been there the entire time. The screaming has stopped. Now, all I feel is the tangible pain in my knee, not the one in my heart.
What the hell?
My chest heaves in and out. I could sit here forever and catch my breath. Probably cry too, but my throat is too dry. Oh shoot, what about...
Yosemite?
I'm ready to dive into the cave when a hand clutches the sleeve of my pants.
Eve?
Her voice is raw, shaking between deep sobs. She's laying down next to me, her free arm slung over her face. Her sleeve is soaked with tears.
What happened?
I lean in and grab her shoulder. All it takes is one attempt to drag her up to know that she's not moving anytime soon. Her mouth moves, but the words don't even come out as a whisper. They may not even be words.
What? I forgot. You forgot? That's not gonna cut it. I need some answers.
No! I forgot. Just like Zion. Who I was. What I knew. Everything.
Just like Zion?
That would mean you used to be different.
Someone else. Now I'm not.
She chokes between heavy sobs.
And it's just going to keep happening.
I try to stutter out a response, but nothing comes.
It's just going to keep happening.
The wind picks up, tossing my hair and any leaves that have fallen off the trees. It's a silent night, so in its place, Yosemite wails.
Reverse! 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 Seriously, Petus, why does this always end up happening?
No offense, Yellowstone, but you were the one who combined 4 decks together.
My god. Holy shit. And save check. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What would I do without you?
For quadruple the fun!
This is still fun to you? All it's doing now is making me stressed.
How do you think I feel? All that turtle jibber jabber you were going on about is still zipping over my head. I'm out for lunch. By the way, you only have 1 card left, and since I pointed it out, you gotta draw 2 more. Sorry, cutie. Them's the rules.
Them's the breaks.
Jeez. You really know how to push my buttons when we play games. You know that?
The turtles, Zion! The turtles!
I'm going to try and explain this one more time.
Let's rattle.
So it's like how I explained it with the cards in the discard pile. Cards all the way down.
That silence was fucking loud. That was the loudest, like the slight move up and down of the floating, just, oh.
Okie
Oh.
Now, with that in mind, let's assume the entire world is on the back of a turtle.
I like that Pokemon.
Far out. Does he have a name?
No. The turtle is just an example. It could be any animal.
Ooh, could it be a buffalo then? They're so fluffy and huggable. I just want to squeeze them.
Okay. It's a buffalo.
Why did they make Zion so fucking funny in this chapter? Like,
Yes.
like she just got
The
funny.
buffalo can't stand on its own in space. So naturally, there would have to be something beneath it. In this case, another buffalo.
But wouldn't that mean that other buffalo would have to start standing on something too?
Can you guess what it is?
Another buffalo? Red 3.
That's right! And it just keeps going and going.
There can't be that many buffalo. They almost went extinct.
Oh my god.
It's just a special way to think about things, Yellowstone. You asked what made humans if humans made us. And I guess that's my answer. It could be something else, on top of something, on top of something else. Or it could be a dream. Or maybe it's nothing at all.
Or it could be centuries of evolution.
I don't really know.
Then what does that mean for us? It doesn't make any sense. And it scares me, you know? Ooh, I have an Uno!
Oh my god.
Blue 3!
Blue 7! I win! It just doesn't make a lick of sense to me. What's the point of living if you don't know nothing while you're doing it? It just seems hopeless.
Does there need to be a point?
Huh? Of course there does. Every camper that cruises through here has one. They got hobbies or nice families. Even Evo has her job. You think it'd be easier for us being parks and all. All we gotta do is help folks get back to nature and look pretty while doing it. We should be jam-packed with purpose. But it sure don't feel like it. Ain't there a reason we're here?
There might be. But why should it be up to us to figure it out?
Well, Yosemite's always trying to do it.
Yosemite is Yosemite. Let her do what she needs to do to make herself happy. Does dwelling on this make you happy?
No. Feels pretty crummy, actually. That don't mean I can't think about it, though.
I know. It's not that easy. But what about the things that do make you happy? Can you think about those?
Oh, hydrate? Okay. Did Mari get down bad? So when Jesse came on screen, I was losing my mind, and then I said something, and then Teddy raided while I was being down bad. So Teddy and their raiders came in at an interesting time, and there was no coming back from that one. Cheers.
Oh, sure. I can do that till the cows go moo.
Can you tell me some of them?
Being here with my precious Oath Angel is one of them. I can tell you that.
Being with you makes me happy too.
Oh, Angel.
And I think just being here now is a lot more important than worrying about all that other stuff. Because here isn't forever. Not even for us.
We haven't seen anyone new yet.
Zion! I don't know if I can change what scares me lickety-split or anything sudden like that. It's all so whack.
It is whack.
But if vibing here with me is good enough for you, then by golly, I'm gonna try and make it good enough for me.
It might take a long time.
Well, as long as the thing on top of my head don't explode, I think I'll be okay. It's a good excuse to dilly-dally, at least.
And if you want, we can have more talks like this. We can play more Uno, too.
Fuck yeah, more you know.
That'd be swell! Could we play another round now?
Sure. Let's take out some of the reverse cards, though.
Oh, such a stick in the mud. But okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Phew.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I think of Uno now, And maybe it doesn't help because I have a pin of them on my microphone. Like I have a pin on my mic, but all I can think about now with Uno is that animation that someone did with like some people where it was like Mari and Hilda from Fire Emblem Three Houses doing the "You have Uno! It came with your..." That's all I can think of now. As they're saying Xbox is like as they're saying all of this is I'm just thinking about that fucking Xbox meme with their voices. Because like I am so now associated with Uno being either a particular clock stream with some other people or "You have Uno!" And like... I'm not winning here. And it might be because I'm literally, as I look at my mic, I am seeing them on the button here. But like, that's it for me. Like, I can't take this scene as seriously because I'm hearing Uno and all I'm thinking is that fucking animation. I'm having a crisis. What's happening?
Did you hear something?
No?
No? I felt something though.
Is audio meant to come through?
Probably just the sting of defeat.
Oh my god.
That's very rude. You'll eat those words slowly to prevent indigestion.
Oh my god.
You're on. Oh, but before that, I have another question.
By all means.
So, what's the deal with eternity?
Oh no. No, don't say eternity. Don't say that word. No. Oh no. Dear Teddy, not much has changed on my front since I hastily jotted down last night's events. There it is. She's on eternity. Yeah, there it is. Oh my god, it lets me. Yeah, Teddy! Oh my god! Okay, I keep forgetting to tell you every time you come in, but we literally are writing to, like, we don't know who Teddy is. We just know we are writing to Teddy. No context who they are, though. So every time you've come in during this, I'm like, Teddy. I just wanted to get it all on paper in case I needed to remember anything. It was a moot point, though. I still remember everything vividly. Yosemite cried for a long time. I didn't think she would ever stop crying. All I could was sit there and watch, like some kind of idiot. Maybe I'm even more callous than I thought I was. Or maybe I don't know how to handle other people having emotions. She's comforted me before, with a hug even. Why wasn't I able to do the same for her, I wonder? The celestial remains mystery real. When she finally calmed down a little, she explained to me some of the things she saw. It was exactly like she said. She's just like Zion, right down to living an entire existence she had completely forgotten about. The deeper she went into the cave, the more the past would enter her. Is that why I got stuck in that cycle? It felt like whenever they teleport me somewhere, except worse, I must be getting too close. Could be why their visions are sticking to me. Maybe Yosemite just got too close to the truth. Regardless, we're both out of our league. She knew people, tribes of them. She could speak their language. They knew her. One of them was a girl. Yosemite smiled when she said that she reminded her of me. I haven't seen her smile since. There was a girl. Oh my god. Okay. I'm curious now. She told me about how they would often go to the same cave we went to. Oh. To hide and visit and argue with each other. Guess she was an argumentative brat before she ever even met Zion. Before a lot of things. What am I doing here, Teddy? I'm so out of my depth, I might as well be drowning in the ocean. It's not like the girls know that much more than I do. They exist, but they're just along for the ride. I'm scared because I don't know what's going to happen next. She was a girl, and she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? Yosemite hasn't left the couch since we got home last night. As I'm writing this, she's still there, a blanket pulled over her head, research untouched. This is the first morning where the table seat opposite from me has been empty, where I've been unopposed. About as good of a human as I am a ranger. P.S. I dusted off my phone to look up what Awahane means. It's Miwok for big mouth. If that was her name, I can't think of anything more fitting. Oh my god. I flipped Teddy shut and tapped my fingers on his cover. Yosemite is completely submerged by her blanket. If it weren't for her feet dangling over the armrest, I wouldn't even be able to tell she was there. Wish I could say something. Know that I can't. I just hope she bounces back. I don't want to face these things alone either.
Miss Eve?
Zion's squeak drags me out of the depth of my thoughts. We haven't told her or Yellowstone about what went down last night. So for them, it's business as usual. I don't know if it's moral to hide it from them, but I think they're better off not knowing.
What is it?
My voice is a dry gravel on account of the sleep I didn't get last night.
Do you happen to know where Pup is? I can't find him anywhere. He'll miss his breakfast.
My god, I'm starting to believe Eva's a reincarnate. I am a sucker for I will love you in every lifetime. So if they hit me with reincarnation, I am going to die because I love the concept of always finding your person in every lifetime. Like, that is so important to me as a trope and a theme, and I love putting it in, like, my art. I love reading it in works of fiction. So, like, I love seeing it happen, and I love the duality that happens. Like, I have such an obsession with this exact trope. Like, there is so much, I have so much love and obsession for I loved you once, I could love you a million times more. In every universe, you will always bring me back to you. Like, there is so many, like, oh my god. I instantly fall in love with something if it even hints. Like, even if it's not, like, written intent, but written subtext, I will still love that subtext in that story as much as one that blatantly talks about it, because there is a really beautiful nuance that comes from the subtleties of that trope not being a direct reference and, like, not being directly said, like, oh, we've loved each other a million times over, but the subtlety of, like, the familiarity of certain things and finding the same patterns over and over again where they feel a little bit too like you've been there before but you've never been there before, but so why does this feeling keep coming back to you like you've walked this path? I have so much love for that subtlety. So if they hit me with that, I'm gone. Like, I don't know how I can recover from that. Like, that is my favorite fucking trope. Oh, I could spend hours talking about it. I'm not going to though, but I could. Duh. Hate to say it, but he had completely slipped my mind. It's a pressing matter, but yesterday was filled with those.
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen him since I got off work yesterday. I'll go out and look for him in a bit. He doesn't wander too far.
Thank you. I'm just worried is all.
When are you not?
When everything is perfect.
Oh, Angel.
Ain't nothing ever perfect. Dollface here knows that better than anybody.
Yellowstone comes bobbing over from the stove, carrying a platter of pancakes in her hand.
Is there a criticism of me you'd like to share, Yellowstone?
Darn tootin', you're nothing but stick and bones. Now have a stack of flapjacks. They go all the way down.
Yellowstone winks at Zion. Zion responds with an uncomfortable smile, like an embarrassed kid whose parent just complimented them in front of their friends. What a couple of weirdos.
Thanks, but I'm not hungry.
Huh? You've gotta be yanking my chain. You've never turned down my flapjacks before.
Feel like crap. Sorry.
Well, somebody's gotta eat these flapjacks. Yosemite turned her nose up to 'em too.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. She didn't even look at us when we asked.
The moping blanket pile on the couch ruffles around.
Let me give it a shot.
I climb to my feet and swipe the platter from Yellowstone. Her and Zion shoot each other concerned glances.
Hey, Tree.
I go to the front of the sofa and crouch where I think Yosemite's face might be hidden.
You want food?
She tugs the blanket further over her head and rolls onto her other side.
Don't you know it's rude to be a pain in the ass when someone's trying to keep you from starving?
At first, I'm certain I'm not going to get an answer. Then I get something. Oh, baby.
I don't need food. It's fine.
Well, I'll take that over silence at least.
Eve, it's me. Open up.
Oh no! The familiar sound of Jessie calling out from my porch breaks through the cabin. Not nearly as cheerful as usual, though. What's she doing here? She always radios me before dropping by. I sigh and set the platter down on the coffee table.
Just let me know when you're ready to sort through all this.
I whisper to Yosemite, then rise to a slightly higher whisper for the rest of them.
You guys should split for a while. Looks like duty is calling.
Aye aye! Come on, girls. Let's make like a bee and buzz off.
Yellowstone grabs Zion's hand. The two of them rush over to the couch and force Yosemite's hand out of the blanket long enough to hold it. They disappear from the room before I can blink.
Adams, I know you're in there. You open this goddamn door right now.
Oh, I love her so much, actually. Uh-oh. What's her damage? She was as bubbly as usual last night.
Coming!
I sprint over and grab the doorknob. The door bursts open. Jessie comes charging through. She clutches my shoulder and pins me against the kitchen counter. Her fingernails dig through my... Hi, Fortune Clouds. How are you today?
Ugh! What the hell, Jessie?
Shut up. I should be the one asking you that, okay?
Her grip gets looser and her voice shakes. She turns her head up and looks at me. Her eyes are wet, cheeks are puffy. My heart drops like an anchor.
What happened?
That coyote puppy of yours? The one I told you not to feed. You remember that, Eve?
Oh no. The words don't come out at first, and when they do, they're mostly broken.
Jessie, what happened? What happened to Pup?
Oh, God. You named it, too? For Christ's sake, Eve.
Oh no. Oh no. Good night, Teddy. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe, make good choices. She chuckles a fake laugh to herself and takes a deep breath.
Listen to me. It wandered into camp yesterday. There was a girl. 6 years old, Eve. 6 years old. She got a little too close.
No!
I'm almost blubbering at this point. We both are. Please don't let it get worse.
3 fingers!
No.
Listen to me! 3 fingers!
Oh no.
It was too late by the time they got to Fresno. They had to amputate.
The cabin door swings in the wind. There aren't any campers in the forest across the clearings. As far as I know, the trees could go on forever. Dear Teddy, what have I done? I kill the ignition. The engine hums until it dies. The metal on the truck pops and squeaks and crackles until that goes silent too. Then all I hear are the muffled tweets of birds from outside. For a while, I stay inside the truck, until it gets warm, until I start to roast. We are finally in springtime. Drove the truck through Tioga Pass for a bit, eventually swerved left and went off-roading. We're technically not supposed to. I technically don't give a shit. Despite knowing this park like the back of my hand, I wouldn't be able to point out where I'm at if given a map. Don't care much about that either.
Probably nowhere too high up. If I had come across a cliff, I would have driven off it. I slam my head on the steering wheel, holding it there as a long, never-ending beep echoes through the woods. A flock of birds scatter from their tree branches and escape into the sky. I lift my head and burst it against the wheel again. Yeah, sorry, Fortune, this is like the one time that was like emotional. Again. But absolutely get it. It's amazing, honestly. Like, holy shit, this game is incredible, Fortune. If I could ever recommend a game, like, this and Please Be Happy, they haven't missed at all. They are insane. Like, oh my god. Is there Yuri? This is all women love women. This is an entirely women love women visual novel. Like, it is straight up women loving women here. My head throbs. A dull pain snakes through it and stops at the back of my wisdom teeth. Vision is blurry, getting darker. I swing the door open and stumble out. The fresh air isn't so fresh. There's a fire nearby. The smell of burning bush makes my self-induced headache even worse. Fires like this aren't the uncommon up here nowadays. I wonder how she's holding up right now. The others are probably pampering her like the queen she thinks she is. No. No, stop it. You forfeited that life. How dare you think you have the right to wake up every day and feel the comfort they gave you? Outdoors, nature, whatever pretentious way I choose to identify being outside and not closed in with my thoughts in some building, it's just a mask. A facade to identity to convince myself that it's possible to have moments in my day-to-day life where I'm not so miserable. But when reality comes crumbling down on top of you and all that's left are Polaroid photos of a toddler with a mutilated hand, the entire charade goes with it. All that's left is a burning image of 3 fingers dangling from a tiny fist and the guilt that comes with it. There was never a way out of this. No second lease or new perspective was ever truly plausible. All that was there was the rebelling ego of a desperate woman shaking her fist at the boot of what exactly? Bureaucracy? Society? Culture? But that's just it, isn't it? It was actually nothing all along. Just an indefinable sense of wrongness. Lack of place on purpose. Disenchantment to be sure, but everyone is disenchanted, so when I turn my blame and hate towards anything and everything, I shouldn't be surprised when there's a casualty. Yet, here I am. Shocked when my poison ends up killing. I come around to the bed of the truck and unlatch it. Pop springs towards me. The rope tied to his neck tugs him back. He's hopping from side to side. He's panting hard. He's breathing. I watch, unblinking, keeping my eyes open and glued to him until they burn and he mellows out.
Yeah. I guess I'm just about ready to.
I say, like he knows what's going on. Like a mutual understanding will redeem me for what I'm about to do. The shotgun slides out of the back easily. It's heavy, but the weight doesn't even register. Feels like an extra limb I've always had. When I was driving, I kept hoping that I'd hear it get set off, that I'd get lucky and that an unseen pothole would do it for me. Didn't even keep the safety on. And if it didn't go off, well, that was fine too. He would get to see it. Maybe understand it, accept it. But as I look into his blank expression, whites of his eyes showing as he turns his head to look at a stray bird, I learn an obvious insight. It's a coyote. Doesn't understand a fucking thing. When the end of the rope is untied, he bounces out and runs in circles on the soil. I don't stop it. He howls and barks, and I don't try to stop that either. Eventually, he starts sniffing at a tree, and I figure that's as good of a place as any. Pup's either a good boy or a dumb boy because he doesn't resist when I grab the rope and start tying it to the tree's mighty trunk. It's over 100 feet, towering to the sky. It and its cousins shade the whole clearing. It's probably over 300 years old. I wonder how many things it's outlived. How much life has completely disintegrated into dust from the time this thing was a sapling until now? How much more it will outlive? When the knot's been tied, I pick the gun off the ground and take 10 steps back. Pup tries to follow, but like in the truck, he gets yanked back. Only this time, he takes issue with it. God, why now?
Shut up! Shut up!
It takes until the second time until I hate myself for saying it. Man, just look at me. I can't even show a dying animal some basic pity. Some ranger.
I'm not going anywhere.
And look at the pity I have for myself. I'll be lugging around this job complex until the bitter end, I guess. After all, the ritualistic killing about to occur is all about me. As if everything. It's about Eve Adams. It's always been about Eve Adams. Pup's head clicks to the side as I raise the gun. I remember Jesse showing it to me the first time I entered the cabin. Not even half a day later was I pointing that thing at Yosemite, Zion, and Yellowstone. Safety is off. All I have to do is pull the trigger. All I have to do is steel myself, commit to the action, commit, and everything changes. My environment changes. I could change. My fingers curl around the trigger. The only real mechanism that matters when it comes down to revolution or murder. Pup stares at me with his blank, trusting eyes. Every organ in my body feels like it's shutting down, going cold. Stomach is doing somersaults. Heart in a radial spin, hands shaking. I'm sorry, Jesse. Zion, Yellowstone, I'm so sorry. Even you, Yosemite, especially you. The only person who ever really got it. I wish I could have let you know how much those dumb morning arguments meant to me. If I had realized it sooner, when I wasn't looking down the barrel of a shotgun, I would have told you. I learned so much from all of you, but I just couldn't apply it right. You should have put your faith in someone better, someone kinder who wasn't bitter just because their expectations failed them. I wasn't able to be the ranger I wanted to be, and I wasn't able to be the person you thought I could be. The world is a blur. Watercolors painted in tears. I'm sorry. Pup lifts his head towards the sky. An unbroken, sorrowful howl escapes into the air, his jowls drooping the longer it goes on.
I'm so sorry.
I pull it.
Alrighty, gals, out of the car. Stretch those legs so you can stay limber and timber.
Please don't forget your hat this time, Yellowstone.
You nearly gave that man in Tehachapi a heart attack.
I'm gonna stick that here. Okay.
It ain't my fault my head is this way. Besides, Zion gets to go strutting around with her wings out.
Because Zion looks like a tiny child costuming as a fairy princess. You look like the Herald of Tribulation.
I look like a tiny child?
My name's not Harold, Yosemite.
Just put on the hat. Look, even Zion and I have to wear one.
I tipped my ranger hat. She left it at the cabin before she ran off, along with nearly everything else. In truth, it causes my scalp to itch like it's a nest for insects, but I don't quite feel like taking it off, even in the car. Zion leans in from the back seat and plants a kiss on Yellowstone's puffed out cheeks, then rests the baseball cap on top of Yellowstone's volcano.
It'll keep the sun out of your eyes. Come on.
Yellowstone sighs and hops out of the driver's seat, Zion following closely behind. I stay in the sweltering car for a moment, staring out the window at the giant thermometer outside. A colossus of the roadside attraction, currently peaking at a dry 102. Deserts are just as intense as the books say they are. Exiting the vehicle is further proof of this. The water dries from my hair in seconds. Whatever. AC is a hedonistic sham. I've existed without it for who knows how long, and I will continue to exist without it for the next 15 minutes. The number on the thermometer raises to 103. I will continue to exist without it for the next 10 minutes.
Golly, it's hotter than HE double hockey sticks out here.
And it will only get worse the lower in elevation we go.
It's not so bad. Utah can get rather hot as well.
How much longer till we get there anyhow? I'm beat from all this driving.
We would have been there by now if you hadn't choked and taken us onto the I-14 instead of the 15.
So I zigged when I should have zagged. At least I actually know how to drive, Miss Start and Stop.
I'm a defensive driver.
What's the N on the shift stand for?
N. Never mind.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I know we're all cranky from the drive, but please, let's not fight. Remember who we're doing this for.
Yellowstone and I go from glaring at each other to both of us shifting our gaze down to the film of dust layered on top of the parking lot. Zion always manages to find a way to be right. Always.
Sorry. I suppose I'm just getting impatient.
There's a long silence as the three of us stand there, simmering in the sun. The only relief is the cool breeze from cars passing on the I-15.
I'm sorry too, Yosemite.
Yellowstone steps forward to hug me. I don't stop her.
It's been hard. The last month has knocked us all on our heinies. But soon we're all gonna be together again, like before.
Not all of us.
Zion sniffs. All the tears have dried up, but as we know all too well by now, there are some things we can never get back. That won't ever get easier.
You're right.
I pull Zion into mine in Yellowstone's embrace, and the three of us huddle together in an awkward hug.
But we can be grateful for what we still have. And what we're going to get back.
Yosemite.
Look at you. Get me all misty-eyed and junk.
Yellowstone wipes away a tear from the corner of her eye. Water from her volcano begins to seep through her hat.
Save it for later. We still have a ways to go.
Right.
Yellowstone and Zion stop for the convenience store, Zion already fretting over whether or not they'll have fresh produce as Yellowstone nearly walks into a light post while staring at the thermometer. I stay behind, staring across the street at the sign that designates the road we'll soon be going down. Gateway to Death Valley.
Just you wait, Ranger. You won't get away from me a second time. I'm coming for you, Eve.
Am I meant to? Okay, there we go. I have no control. No special wisdom into the hearts and minds of the other people that occupy the same space as me. Wait, should I end it here? Because this is technically part 2. I don't know how long this is gonna be. Yeah, wait. I'm gonna end it here. Okay. Yeah, we're ending here. Holy fucking shit. Look at all of our CGs that we have collected, including the most fucking traumatizing one. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Holy shit. I like this one though. This is beautiful. Oh, we skipped that one. Also, this was beautiful. I think this is one of my favorite ones. What does Studio Elon have against canines? Happy almost got hit by a car. Yeah, no, literally, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck, man? I love them, but come on. Am I gonna have to stop putting their games into Does the Dog Die? Because, like, I swear to fucking God. Oh my god. Man, remember when we used to be happy? Remember when we used to be happy? Oh, I do like the duality though between like these two pieces. Like there is something really beautiful about that. Like looking between them. Like that is amazing. And that's all I could think of the entire time. Was just... That's so... I miss being happy. Oh my god, mood. Fuck, what a way to end an episode. Get your dose of cute Yuri instead of trauma, Yuri. Yeah, I'm feeling like I was really spoilt with my first game from them being Please Be Happy. Like, don't get me wrong, Please Be Happy fucking hurt in parts. Like, I cried from parts of that. But like, holy fucking shit, man. Oh wait, when you click it, it does the slight change one. God bless. Please Be Happy is still very happy overall. Yeah. It's like, there's a beautiful wistfulness in parts of it. God. Man. We were so happy once. We were so happy once. You pretty much played Studio Elon's games in reverse order of release date. Let's go! I miss her. She's so pretty. Oh, oh, oh! Never mind. She's gone again. I'm not opening that one. You cannot make me. Look at her. I want to say something. The will of God is stopping me from saying what I want to say right now. But that doesn't mean I can't put it in someone's DMs. Are you... Awesome! I just accidentally... Oh! Oh. We're gonna be silly. Same brain cell, real. Your chat knows you. Apparently you all know me too well. That's insane. Wow, we're feeling feelings today. God, that's insane. God. Look at that little fam. Oh, wait, that one just hurts. Look at the baby. I can't believe they killed a character off. That's insane. So sad, man. Look at how little he was. Oh god, I'm gonna make myself sad. Nope, I'm gonna make myself sad. I'm gonna make myself sad. So we're gonna do this. Are you ready for this? Hey, what's up, you guys? Everything's fine. Nothing bad ever happened. You're hearing me close out of this game. Nothing bad ever happened. Ever. Isn't that crazy? Everything's so great. Everything is such a normal day. Wow, what a stream. That was a stream. I just came back. What happened? Well, we had a character death. We experienced character death in our game today. Who died? Pup. Pup. Yep. It's fine. It's fine. It was a little bit fucked up. Oh my god. Jesus. Also, that felt like such a small one today, actually. Like, that felt short AF. Huh. I thought we were gonna be going well into past midnight, God bless. Thought this was a silly girly game about angsty park pages. Yeah, so I thought so too. I thought so too. It's fucked up we got CG. Yeah, no, that was fucked up of them. They wanted to make people hurt. Like, that was very fucked up of them. That was very, like, yeah. They got the point across. They wanted to show the absolute fucking heartache. They nailed it. They nailed it. They haven't missed a beat in storytelling. That was... yeah. Studio Elon gets angstier the older their games are. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna just sit in my little please be happy like place and just be like, nothing can hurt me here. Holding Aspen. What was the name of the one who D-worded? Pup. It was Pup. Cuddle your Mimo. She's on the way! I will be getting a Mimo soon. I'm so excited. Ugh! I'm so excited for when Mimo arrives. I'm gonna be too obsessed with her. I'm getting two, so I'm gonna punt one and put the other one behind glass where she's safe. Me waiting for Twofold to drop, knowing it's about to forever alter my entire life. Okay. I am so fucking ready for Twofold. The day it drops, like, I am gonna have to stop myself from playing it. Cause, like, it doesn't drop on a Wednesday, so I have to wait, like, until it gets to Women Love Wednesdays, because obviously I want to play it blind with all of you. So I'm gonna be, like, avoiding spoilers like the fucking plague when that game drops. I am ready to play fucking Dodge. Like, holy shit. Because I have avoided the demo. I have been very careful to miss anything that could come across as too much. I am going into this thing so fucking blind. Yeah, I have to wait. So, when it happens, I'm gonna be insane. Trust me. Doesn't the demo have a unique scene in it? It does, and I'm gonna go and play the demo after I finish the main game, solely for the unique scene. Because I don't want to do the demo because I don't want to see anything in-game other than the trailer. Like, I am being so careful. I want to cry. I'm going into this just like I did with Please Be Happy, with this one, with Heart of the Woods. I think the game that I knew the most of before I started playing anything was Heart of the Woods, and even then I knew nothing about that game. And part of me wished I didn't know more about that one, because holy shit, that was something. That was a game. Oh boy. But yeah, I'm gonna end us off here. It's the rest of the week. Friday, we had Team Gay getting back together. We're gonna be doing Valorant stuff. We're in our training arc still. I finally picked up a duelist character, so Mori and I are switching between duelists. We're learning. I'm doing crazy things. I'm playing Neon. We're going crazy. We're probably also going to do 3v3 if we can get the whole team together, because I know a lot of people are very busy at the moment, so it's like, if you're available... She aced. I aced! I got my first ever ace as Neon! I'm terrifying. I can silent run now and do the walk slide. I was very excited. And Neki can vouch. I can backward slide 50% of the time. I have been practicing. I have been working really hard to get better at it so that it's not as embarrassing when I stream on my POV. She's gonna be... No! No! But yeah, I've been working really hard on trying to get better. That is the most cursed fucking word you could have put in my chat, Neki. What is that? What is that word? What is that? Get that out of here. But yeah, we've been practicing, we've been trying. I have literally, on multiple occasions, either with Neki or Mori or Shira, been like, you and me, 1v1, we're practicing, I need to practice. So I've been going hard on things. It's been great, except now Mori knows how to read me like a fucking book and knows most of my plays. Neki knows all of my fucking things. I'm just terrified to go 1v1 against Neki, I'm not gonna lie, because I learned everything from them. They're gonna beat my ass. And then Sunday, I have a fun-ass collab that is so in my hyperfixations because it's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I have to start a new save file. We're picking we're picking our own starter Pokemon and basically doing a challenge run where we have a certain amount of time to build a team in like the starting area and then fighting each other, freebies on items and everything. I can't use my old save file because it does not have my name on it, so I have to this week at some point, sometime, start a new save file, pick which starter I want because it can be any starter Pokemon as long as it's in a certain level range, and then yeah, make sure I complete enough of the game that I won't get caught in cutscenes. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be girl bossing. A lot of my Saturday is gonna be speedrunning Pokemon in time for stream on Sunday. Oh boy! But I'm really excited about it, and it's with Just Fly, so we're finally getting to do our collab together. And then in the upcoming weeks, I can say that I will be having a stream with Nine, my art brother, which I'm very excited about. Neki and I will be streaming as well together in the upcoming weeks. And I think that is it in terms of streams that I can announce. Yes. So we have some busy few weeks, and then I should, if everything goes well this week with the final checks, have a big announcement on my next schedule for a big reveal on Wednesday. Don't hold me to that. If it does happen, it will be on the schedule, which will mean that Women Love Wednesdays will probably still stay at 8. The thing beforehand will probably just be before that. I want to try and keep Women Love Wednesday consistent. So we're really going to go from whatever exciting thing my thing is to just getting our heart absolutely shattered, because we know that's gonna shatter us. So it's gonna be funny. We're gonna go through a lot of emotions together, everybody. Are you excited? I'm excited. We're all gonna cry together in one way or another about one emotion or another. And I think that's beautiful. I think there is nothing more poetic. Let's fucking go! Oh god. But yeah, we'll end our stream here for today. So, you know what we say at the end of every stream, guys? Stay safe, make good choices. Thank you so much for watching, and everybody, thank you, good night!